What's up, guys? Welcome to the Freshfit podcast. Today, we got good friend, real estate investor, multimillionaire, a bunch of other great things that would take me forever to do the intro. John from Bulldog Mindset in the house. Guys, this will be a good one. Let's get into it, baby.
All right, what's up, folks? Today, we're not having a bunch of random girls in here talking about crap. We got in the house with our mindset. John, how you doing, bro?
Good. It's a tough act to follow to sit in this seat. But
Nah, man. So John, right? We went out last night. We went out the day before. What's your thoughts on Miami, man? I want to hear from you so far.
Well, it's hard to give like really good take on it because everything's still kind of closed. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen enough to know. I think I got to go to the beach first, and then I'll make an assessment. But
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of bad with the curfew, right?
Yeah. For those that don't know, guys, Miami, we never opened back up. Like, we're kind of on we're not on lockdown, but we have a curfew of midnight right now.
Yeah.
Which is pretty ridiculous. So basically the top clubs are closed. So Live, Story, you want to come here and get lit at Miami Beach, right now is not the time to do it. We get a lot of DMs. Hey, I'm going to come to Miami. I'm going to blah, blah, blah. And it's like, listen, for all you guys that want to come here, don't come here right now, man. I'm telling you, this is not like, you'll still be able to find things to do. Yeah. But unless you're like a hot girl or you got to hook up with a mansion or boat party, like, bruh, as a regular single guy coming down here, unless you know people, don't come down here. So, because the club scene is not as good right now. You know what I mean? That's just the reality.
Facts.
What?
All right, so we'll start the podcast.
Well, hold on. Actually, you know what? People are probably wondering, yo, how'd you meet John from Bulldog Mindset? So
there you go.
Let's take a walk down memory lane real fast. So I met John through obviously my good friend John from Modern Life Dating, right? John Hogwood. And we're meeting with John. We released together Pandemic Pickup. We did a couple of business ventures where, I would come in and help coaches guys in the body language mastery webinars, which now I think he calls the Male Empowerment Network, MEN, which, it's fantastic. You meet a bunch of people from different walks of life. We got investors in there, real estate guys, millionaires, athletes, guys high up in the military, whatever it may be. So there's someone in the community that, you'll be able to learn from. And just from working with John, I was able to get across with John from Bulldog Mindset. And then John, had me on his channel, was gracious enough to host me on his channel. And we did an interview. And then ever since then, we've been like friends. And we talk offline about a million different things, which I will not say here on YouTube that aren't too YouTube friendly. And yeah, man, we just forged a relationship. And now he's here in Miami. And we're happy to have him, man. Me and him got a late night workout yesterday at like 3 or 4 in the morning, dude. And then we started chopping it up about business, half asleep. And yeah, man. And then Fresh took him out today. So it was a good time, guys. So that's how we all became friends. And obviously I introduced Fresh to John. And Fresh had already known John because Fresh is into real estate, as you guys know, and John makes a lot of his money from real estate. So yeah, man, it was a perfect storm waiting. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, back from the simple programmer days for coding.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot from John. So we want to know, right, bro? What is the Bulldog Mindset?
What is the Bulldog Mindset? So the Bulldog Mindset is basically the opposite of the victim mindset, right? So really the best way to think of it as taking full responsibility for your life, right? Anything that is blame is the victim mindset. Anything that is an excuse is the victim mindset, whether it's a valid excuse or not. So the whole idea of a Bulldog Mindset is to develop a stoic philosophy for life, right? A stoic mindset, the idea that you don't allow, fate, you don't allow fortune, you don't allow external things to control your internal. You're responsible for yourself. And, Bulldog Mindset really encompasses, my goal with Bulldog Mindset is to teach men how to be men, because men are pussies today. They forgot how to be men. And in order to be really, a strong man today, a masculine man, you have to become self-sufficient. You have to take full responsibility for your life, and you can't have that victim mindset. That's what Bulldog Mindset is. And the idea is like just to teach people, what they need, right? Men need to know how to make money, right? They need to know how to get in shape and how to get women. That's what you need to do to be a man. And you got to have the right mindset to do it. So
John, for those that don't know, you went through like an incredible transformation. Like, I thought I went through a good one when I was fat, and like you put me to shame, man. And you basically went from like, simp to pimp, essentially. Not shamelessly plugging my stuff, but anyway, but yeah, no, man. And you were fat, had glasses, looked like a dork. You know what I mean? It was like crazy. If you guys like, maybe we could get the picture and put it up on the side here for you guys.
Is it on your website?
It's on your website.
Yeah. There's some.
Yeah, Chris, if you could pull it up, because I want people to see this transformation.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
Can you,
radical, man.
Can you tell us what made you become the man you are today from the simple programmer that we saw before?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of different things. Like there was, definitely multiple transformations that occurred, from different times in my life. But the big thing, like the moment that really changed things for me, I would say that moved me in that direction for that particular transformation was I remember going to the store to buy some size 46 pants, because the 44s didn't fit me. And that's
damn.
that was the point where I was like, John, you're a fat ass. Like there's no question about this at this point. You couldn't look in the mirror anymore and just be like, I got a little bit of a belly. It was like, no, you're a fat ass. And what I realized from that point was I sort of had this kind of awakening moment where I realized that it's what I call everybody thinks they're going to be a rock star someday. Everyone thinks that someday they're going to get the girls, they're going to have fame and money and all these things and live this lifestyle. And everyone kind of tends to have this like thinking somewhere in the future, someday I'll get my due. Someday I'll, and it's not fucking true. Most people die and live a mediocre life.
Facts.
And so what I realized was that shit wasn't happening for me. That wasn't, this is not a dress rehearsal. This is the real deal. And the direction my life was going was not the direction I went. Now, granted, I still had some success. Remember, I was a successful software developer.
Right.
I had some real estate investments, right? But I was not the man that I wanted to be and that I knew I was capable of being. And sort of from that day forward, I realized like I had just this panic moment of realizing like if I do not completely change my life around now, that dream life that I envisioned that I would like to have someday, that I said that everyone wants to be a rock or thinks they're going to be a rock star, I'll never have that unless I actually make it happen. And so from that day forward, I really I started studying personal development. I got on a diet, started running, and got into shape, lost like 100 pounds in I think 6 or 7 months.
Damn.
And Chris, if we could pull that picture up real fast, it's on your website, right?
Yeah, we have it up right now.
We have it. Yeah, just share screen it just so they can see it.
We got 3 super chats.
Oh, okay. We'll do the super chats real quick, then we'll show his transformation because I want you guys to really see this. Yeah. So for all you guys making excuses like, oh, bro, I don't know if I could do this. Oh,
I'm too big.
Insulin, bro. No, I have a slow metabolism. Like, bro, shut up. Like, you could definitely get in shape. Just a matter of how bad do you want it. Okay, so we got the first super chat here. Tyrone Thug Nasty Bigums. How to quit alcohol, red pilled SAF, making 70K as a 23-year-old, lifting, applying game, investing, but I have to have my few drinks at night. Advice. John, what do you think on that?
I think that's just bullshit. That's like, you don't have to have your few drinks at night. Right?
Facts.
Like it's not even a physical addiction like with alcohol. It's like a psychological addiction mostly. So unless you're actually an alcoholic, in which case that's a whole different thing. But if it's just having a few drinks, you just have to decide that discipline is mostly commitment, and you just have to make a rule for yourself and commit. I mean, I did 1 meal a day fasting until 5 o'clock for like 5 years, right? With missing maybe like 10 days in that whole time period. And the reason why is because I made a rule for myself and I committed to it. And so if you make a rule for yourself and say, no, I'm not going to drink alcohol, or maybe you just make a rule and you say, I will only drink alcohol on Saturday nights, or one day a week, or 1 day a month. I mean, maybe you don't have to be completely 100%, but whatever rule that you create for yourself, you have to follow it. Otherwise you will lose trust in yourself, because what's probably happening, and the reason why you're probably having trouble quitting alcohol, is you're probably saying, okay, I'm not going to drink tonight. And then you do, and then you don't trust yourself. So the next time you say it, it means even less. Right. And it's funny. I was just applying for a refinance on one of my properties, and the company that's doing the refinance, they send these automated emails that say, we need this documentation from you and this and this. And so I email and I uploaded the documentation they needed. And then the loan officer that's doing the refinance, he emailed me. He said, oh, just ignore those emails. Right. And then they keep on sending it to me. And now it's like, if they actually need to send me an email that actually means that they need something from me, I'm just going to ignore it because I don't believe. So that's what happens with the voice in your head, right? See, you don't trust yourself. And so if you violate your own trust and you say, oh, I'm gonna stop drinking, I'm not gonna drink tonight, and then you do it, then the next time that you say that, it's like one of those emails that's like, yeah, we can just ignore that. Your subconscious says, fuck that guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about, we'll just drink. Right? He says he's gonna go to the gym tomorrow in the morning, he's not really gonna do it. He says he's gonna do this. So you have to gain trust in yourself and keep it. It has to be the biggest commitment that you make in your life, is to not let yourself down, not other people.
Well said.
And I just want to say this real quick, man. Like when I get questions like this, I'm just like, really, nigga? Because here's the thing, bro. Real talk. I always say this is why it's so important to go to the gym and train hard. And the reason why is because when you go to the gym and you train hard, it's going to set the foundation for which you can propel yourself. So if you go to the gym, right? Let me show you how it like builds upon itself. You go to the gym, you train really hard. You're going to be less apt to want to drink alcohol and eat bad food because you just busted your ass in the gym and you want to get 100% return on investment of you being in the gym. So that's going to dictate your behaviors after. This is why I tell guys all the time, go to the grocery store and go grocery shopping after you go to the gym because you're in a good mindset. You just worked really, really hard. Now you're like, oh, you know what? I don't really want to get this like crappy food, whatever it may be, because I just killed myself in the gym. So I want to make sure I get everything back on it. So it starts with the gym where you actually have to put a good amount of effort in. And then every behavior after that is probably going to be a good decision because you're going to want to recoup, right? That investment you made in the gym and on that pain. So it starts with going to the gym and training hard. And then from there, you're going to make better decisions with your food, better decisions with your sleep, better decisions with your lifestyle, better decisions with how much water you're going to drink. Then finally, you'll be like, okay, night's almost at the end. Do I need a nightcap with this red wine? No, I don't need it. I don't need to be like a single bimbo with a cat. So I'm not going to drink this wine. And then you go to bed, boom. And then bam, you just made one day where you're successful. Continue that for weeks, for months, for years, and then you get the physique that you want. As simple as that, man. Time plus consistency equals results every single time. Next one.
No,
sorry.
We have two more. Then,
two more.
Share screen.
RBG.
Okay. RBG 1827. Go to Orlando. The bars are all on one street. Yeah. I mean, dude, Orlando is terrible though. The girls are not nearly as hot, bro.
It's boring as hell.
Sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Orlando.
Yeah, dude. A bunch of those chicks. It's just like you look at them and you're like, oh hell no. You know what I'm saying?
Downtown Orlando is a good place to get into a fist fight. That's
Facts.
like Street Fighter. That's
Yeah.
it's like legit Street Fighter
Seriously.
happening live. Like, that's
yeah, you're just like
fatality.
and there's a bunch of crazy feminists out there too. When I was there, that's the first thing I noticed, like a lot of overweight feminists that are like super rude and entitled. And I was like, I don't like this. Like, and here's the thing, when you live in Miami for a while, guys, you end up getting spoiled because they're like, yo, all these chicks are hot. And then you go up to like Orlando or DC and you're just like these girls are terrible.
Yeah, I want to come right back home, bro.
Yeah, like we're kind of spoiled here.
But those chicks are waiting for you, Martin. They're ready to welcome you,
especially now.
Yes, they want to give you a big hug,
especially with the TikTok stuff going on. We got Tyrone Thug Nasty Bigums. How does the combative sports and martial arts, wrestling, etc., affect confidence with women, and what does it teach you about life? I'll let you take that one, John.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't directly translate. It doesn't directly apply. Like I think the problem with a lot of guys is they try and do things. So, okay, getting over your fear of approaching women, nothing will get you over your fear except for approaching women, right? So there's a lot of guys that try to sidestep this. And again, I'm not saying necessarily that you're doing that, but don't be like, okay, well, if I do martial arts, then I will like you can never get rid of fear. You can only choose to have courage. Like trying to get rid of fear is a very bad strategy.
Fear is good.
Yeah. Fear is good. Courage is the thing that you can strengthen. And so, but again, to take the other side of it, martial arts, anything that is going to be combative, where you're going to conquer, where you're going to win, it's going to raise your testosterone, right? It's been proven in studies after, a team wins a sporting event, their testosterone is higher. So it is going to, sort of ingrain that mindset into you when you're a person that's able to do that as well. So it's not really, don't try to do this and try to think that's going to translate over, but being someone who walks into a situation, who doesn't hide from situations that they don't like and is willing to go into their outside of their comfort zone, that's going to translate that itself, that attribute, not just doing the thing, if that makes sense, right? So having the mindset of saying, whatever it is, I'm going to tackle it, I'm going to do it. But yeah, I don't know. It's also just part of being masculine, right? As men, we are fucking hunters. We're designed to hunt and to fight. and you have to have some kind of avenue for that, and it will bring out more masculinity in you. So I think it's a good overall thing. It's just don't use it as a substitute for overcoming your fear, because if you do that, it's going to have the opposite effect.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, excellent explanation. And guys, this is just because I really wanted you guys to see where John came from. Like the Chad that you see before you now was not always a Chad. Okay. So, John, can you talk about this picture right here? How old were you back then?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. That was probably like, I want to say that's like 29, 28, maybe.
Okay.
It might have been even younger than that. It might have been like 27. So somewhere around
You look
there.
one of those guys from World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
named Gilbert.
Yeah. And how much did you weigh back then?
I was probably right around 300 pounds.
300 pounds.
Yeah.
And today you are.
I'm about 245
Yeah.
right now. Yeah. With
Nice.
a lot more muscle and
Yep.
a lot less fat. So yeah.
Yeah, guys. So if you can, if you guys could see the transformation here, man, if he could do it, you guys could do it too,
Level
man.
up
No
in life,
excuses.
guys. Level up.
No excuses, because I definitely wanted to show this transformation is like phenomenal. So, okay. So we'll switch gears real quick from fitness and everything like that. Did we have another one, Chris?
Yeah,
we have two more.
We have two more.
Red
Red
Pill
Pill
Mike,
Mike,
$5.
what's
Go ahead, Chris. You got it.
Question for John: when you mentor a person, what is the most common factor you've seen that makes them succeed and calmly makes them fail?
Gosh, that's a really good question. That's a really good
Yeah,
question.
Red Pill Mike always has the
Yeah,
the real
deep in
thought-provoking questions.
The real
Even when we
stuff.
do our late night streams, the girls are like, "Oh my god, I don't know how to answer this."
What's
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
most common factor. So, okay, I got an answer. And again, I always say this because there's multiple ways to answer any question, right? Because it's always like the lens that they choose to answer it through today, right? And so I could give you a totally different answer tomorrow and it would be equally right? Because there's so many ways to look at this, and it's all kind of like everything's kind of a model. We're looking at things that can't be described by words, and we're trying to put them into words, into concepts, right? That's what we do, right? So the one that I'll tell you today is commitment. I think commitment is the key, right? So it's really one of the greatest secrets to life is being committed. When you choose to commit to something, fully committing to a thing, that really is what determines success. And it's the way I describe it a lot is, and it happens a lot of times, whether I'm coaching guys on business or on game, and getting good with women. A lot of times guys will tell me, well, I'll try. I'm going to try this business idea. I'm going to try to make a YouTube channel. I'm going to try and go out and do what you said and approach this girl, or I'm going to try going out tonight and I'm going to hope that I'm going to get laid. And my answer is always, you're going to fail then, because you have to commit. You have to say, you can't say I'm going to try. You have to say, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it happen. You have to believe it. And you have to decide that because it's a totally different thing. Like, especially if you're going to be successful in business, you cannot try. You cannot try, because the reason why you can't try is because you are inevitably going to face a giant ass monkey in your path. And he's, and what are you going to do? He's going to beat the shit out of you. And then if you're just trying, you're like, I guess the path is blocked. I'm going to go back home. But if you're committed to it, you're like, well, I got to get there. I don't care how many times I have to get beat up by this fucking monkey. I'm going to figure out what I need to do and get around this monkey somehow. And that's the difference. It's the same thing, whether it be business or be game. Guys give up. They're like, oh, I tried. I cold approached. Girls don't like me. I'm ugly. I'm, black pilled. And, game doesn't work. I approached 300 women and it didn't work. And I'm like, then you have to, it's a mindset. Then approach, what is it going to take? Does it take 1,000 to work? Then fucking do 1,000. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, you have to do whatever it's going to take. That's the difference of the mindset. It's the same thing, again, like I said, in business, is it's like when you're in business and you're like, I'm going to make this damn thing work no matter what, you're going to figure out whatever it takes to make it work. And if you're like, I'm going to try, you're always going to hit an obstacle, and you're going to seem like it's not going to work, and you're going to give up, because that's the nature of the beast. So if you're committed, and again, you could look at it as saying burning the boats, right? It's the same thing. Like, you got to burn the boats. You got to say, yeah, there's no going back, right? I'll give you one kind of concrete example from my life. When I was a kid, there was this ditch. I lived in South Carolina, and there was this big ditch like in the housing area where we used to play, right? And this ditch was maybe like 10 feet. I don't know how wide it was across. And on the other side of the ditch was this really cool forest and graveyard and all kinds of fun stuff that we would get into trouble as kids. And some days there'd be like planks across there from where the workers that had built on the houses, some kids had put some planks, but a lot of times they would take the planks down because they didn't want us crossing that ditch. And so what would happen is you go to the way to get across that ditch is you have to run and you have to jump across it. Now it's enough distance where you can make it, but you can only make it if you run as hard as you fucking can, right? And so what inevitably happens, and you watch kids do this, and I did this myself, is the kid will try and run, and he'll run full sprint as fast as he can until he gets close to the edge, and then he'll start to slow down because he's getting close to the edge, and then he'll jump and fall in the fucking mud, right? And it's the stupidest thing, right? It's the stupidest thing. Like, I did it myself, and I'm like, why the fuck did I slow down, right? And it's because I was trying. I was in my mind when I was going to do that jump. I was like, I'm going to try, and I'm running, and then I'm like, oh shit, I'm not going to make it. So I'm like, slow down, and then I jump, and then I do fail. I make myself fail by slowing down. So what you have to do, the best way to be successful to get across that ditch is to run as hard as you fucking can and jump as hard as you fucking can. It doesn't matter how close you get to that edge, because you're either going to make it or you're not going to make it, right? And sometimes you will make it, and sometimes you might fall in still, but you're going to have the best shot. And so that's why you have to commit instead of trying, because trying says maybe I could slow down, maybe I could, and that's what trips you up, because then you put in the effort, you've already boosted yourself in the direction of success, but then you slow down just before you get to the edge of the ditch, and instead of flying across it, you fall in it.
Dude, like, seriously.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yo, I'll say this, man. Like, just to double back real quick, guys, you got to understand, to be successful, you got to do what's required at all times. Okay. Like yesterday, perfect example. Me and John felt like crap after doing that show. But what would we do? We walked to Fresh's, building, because his building has a 24-hour gym. When we weren't worked out, we didn't feel like it, but we understood to become successful, you got to do what's required, because, John had some calls he had to do the next day. So we went and we trained, and that's really what it is. A big part of discipline is doing things, not when you feel like it, but when you don't feel like it. So we'll hit the next super chat here.
6
Afi.
chats.
Oh man. Okay. They're coming in. All right. Afi Kingdom with the $5 super chat. Blessings, brothers. Showing love. I'll catch the playback. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
I got my glasses on so I can actually read them now. Jason 499 super sticker. Thank you so much, Jason. We got Dean with the 199. How to invest in crypto? What websites or apps? We'll get into the guys. So Chris, can we start making a note of questions? And guys, we will open up the phone lines and answer questions at the end.
Yep.
And then who do we got here? Shonen Spirit Beast. Bulldog Mindset is one of the most underrated content creators, period. Yep. I was literally talking with John about this morning. John, what are some principles that you could recommend men should follow? We will definitely answer that. So crypto, and then principles men should follow.
Yep. And
then third here, we got Kevin C. Level up. Oh yeah, man. Definitely, dude. Absolutely. So,
and I gotta say real quick too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it shown spirit, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I see you, man. I see you, because I see you all the time. In my comments and everywhere. So I see you.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely get to your question. Don't worry. Who else is up next? Alexandru Grigador. Totally agree. Good content, guys. Keep it up. Thank you so much, guys. We're coming for that number one spot. No ludicrous. You guys know what time it is.
Yeah, we got 309 and 105 likes.
Hey, yo, hold on.
We need more.
Yo, we need 200 likes at least. I'm going to play this annoying Who Wants to Be a Millionaire theme until we get it.
Minimum, guys.
All right.
Don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe, because we're probably going to get deplatformed at some time from Angry Feminist Matter or TikTok, and Curtis making videos about us and having a bunch of angry feminists come to our page and leave comments. So here we go. 200 likes, guys. And I will also continuously, shamelessly plug our merchandise.
And Patreon.
Patreon. So patreon.com/freshfit for where you can get a bunch of videos. The 2 girls and 1 table interviews are all on there, $50 tier and up. 97 tier, you get Zoom calls. We will have a Zoom call right after this. It'll be a little bit shorter than usual, but you'll be able to get in there. 97 tier and above. We have the call every Monday after the show. What else? We got merchandise. Freshnfit t-shirts are in stock. Go ahead and get those. And we got sweaters as well.
Yep.
Link will be in the chat. And then I also got another t-shirt where it says, I punish girls that reschedule dates on me, just to make fun of all the people that are mad on TikTok. Make sure to wear it in front of a feminist. That is also in stock. And then what else? John, what are you selling?
Yeah.
Let's shamelessly plug your stuff too.
I'm selling the Bulldog Mindset membership. So.
Okay. So tell them about it.
Yeah. So for $30 a month right now, actually $7 for the trial. if you get in, go to my YouTube channel, and you can find it in the description link. And you get access to one exclusive video every week on mindset, fitness, dating, and making money. And then live Q&A every month, access to the Discord server, Facebook group, Strava group. What else do we do in there? Book summaries, all kinds of good stuff. So
Take the Bulldog quiz, guys.
Yeah, quiz is very important, guys.
Take the quiz. And how many likes are we at right now?
We're at 155.
155. Hey, guys, we will continue to plug our
200
stuff
likes,
until we
guys.
hit 200 likes.
Almost there.
In the meantime, I am selling fitness coaching. If you guys want to come on and get in shape with Myron Gaines, where I will make fun of you and tell you to definitely go to the grocery store after you lift, join in. Click the link below for a one-on-one consult. Fresh is taking on Instagram clients that want him to control their Instagram so he can help you get girls and pretty much use Instagram to womanize. And then what else? Are you selling anything else, John?
Yeah, I do coaching as well. Yeah, you can just go to my channel and you can find it in the description there. But
the plugging will not stop until we hit 200 likes. Patreon.com/Freshfit. What else? I'm starting to think you guys like this. Like the video. Come on. We don't want to sit here and plug all day. What else?
We got a high value course coming out.
Yeah, that's gonna come soon. We're gonna finish filming it tomorrow, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna have our boy, my accountant will be featured in it as well. He's also a millionaire and he knows quite a bit of a few ways to save you money on taxes, which we will teach you guys. Chris, what are we at on likes?
We have 173.
173, guys.
Okay. Almost
27.
there.
You go to Amazon.com and you can get my books and learn how to become a software developer.
Bam!
There you go.
Software developer career guide. Wall Street Journal bestseller. Okay, number 4 or I think it's 5 on the Wall Street Journal bestseller list. So it's a good one.
That's how you know we're really reaching on this plugging. He never plugs that book.
That's
So
right.
you guys will continue
For
to hear
real.
the plugging until we get 200 likes.
182.
192. 8 more.
So
I'm selling my
182.
iPhone.
8 more.
182.
182. 182.
182.
Oh, guys, we need 200 likes. The show will not continue until we hit 200 likes.
Let me see.
200 likes, guys. Like the video. There's 321 of you watching right now. 200 likes.
Guys, also sub to the channel. Because I like guys watch, but you don't sub to the channel. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Yeah, sub to the channel, man.
Commit.
We see you guys, you silent watchers.
Just do it.
Subscribe to the channel, man. Like just
194.
Don't try.
194. Don't try, guys.
Just commit. Subscribe. That's it.
Yo, turn up the USB, Chris.
It's up.
Oh, 200 likes.
200 likes. All right. We hit it. We hit the number.
Made it.
Perfect. We hit 200 likes, man. That was pulling teeth, man. Guys, we don't enjoy plugging our stuff, honestly.
Yeah,
Surprise!
for real.
Like I'm over here thinking, like, what can we sell? Okay, so we're gonna switch gears real quick from the fitness and mindset over to real estate.
Okay,
For some of you guys that don't know, John doesn't really brag about it too much, but I will for him. The guy's a millionaire. A big part thanks to real estate investing, being very savvy with his money.
Yeah.
Early on, he was able to leave the job force at what 35. You're a millionaire, pretty much, and out
33.
33. Even younger, man.
Nice.
So, so how does one start investing in real estate?
That's a
Yeah.
good question. So, I mean, what you have to do is first save up enough money for down payment, right? So typically it's going to be a 20% down. That's what I would recommend. If you have a smaller amount of money, right? Because people always ask me all the time, like, how should I invest $1,000? Don't, or rather invest it in yourself, right? Invest it in your own personal development, buying books, buying courses, buying things that are going to increase your income to the point where you can save $20,000 to $30,000 or $40,000 to make a real estate investment. Because if $40,000 is a lot of money to you and it's hard to save, I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying that your bigger problem is that you need to be able to figure out a way to be able to earn more money.
Yep.
Because you're not going to make money without having some amount of money to start with. It's just too hard. Now, people do all kinds of weird real estate stuff, and it'll work if you really want to hustle, trying to do fix and flips and trying to do wholesaling. And you can do deed in lieu of foreclosure type of arrangements where you knock on doors and stuff. But honestly, that's just work. It's just work. Investing and working in the real estate industry are two different things. And a lot of people confuse that because they think, if I buy a property and I fix it up and then I hold on to it, then I got a discount on it. No, what you did was you did a rehab and you got paid as a general contractor to do the rehab. And then you decided to sink the earnings that you made into an investment, which is not a bad idea. But you could probably make more money unless you're actually a general contractor with experience doing your regular job or increasing your skill set so you can get a better job. So start off there getting enough money. You need about 20% down payment to buy a property. That's the first place. And my whole strategy is for the long term, buy and hold. So what we're looking for with real estate is we're looking for investments, not speculation. Now, the way I define an investment versus speculation is investment is something that doesn't require a future event to occur in order for it to give you a return. Okay. A speculation is anything other than that. So if you're relying on a future event, it is a speculation. All right. So when I buy a property, for example, if I buy a real estate investment, all right, I call it an investment because I know that if I put down this money, if I buy this property, all right, I'm going to get this much rent. I have a 30-year fixed mortgage on the property. So I have a specific amount of debt service that I'm going to pay, taxes, insurance, add that all up. And I know that I'm getting a return on my money or my investment. It's a good deal then. The price of the property doesn't have to go up in order for me to get a return. Now, obviously, I'll get a better return as real estate does appreciate, for sure. And we are counting on that in the long term. But in order to buy a good investment, what you want to look for is something that doesn't require a future event in order for you to make money, right? So, and then other examples outside of real estate would be, a dividend yielding stock. That would be an investment, whereas buying a non-dividend yielding stock would be a speculation, right? Buying a bond that has a yield, it has a face value, it has a yield to that. It is an investment versus buying Bitcoin is a speculation. It doesn't pay you anything for that. Unless you buy Ethereum and then you use DeFi to stake your Ethereum, now it's become an investment.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like most people, they hey, go buy real estate. And I'll go buy the biggest house I want because, I want a big house. But as an investment, you don't do that. You look for property that's cash flowing. And
There's real estate 101 for you guys as far as so what's your take on people? Now you gave the general, you want to put 20% down. What do you think about guys that do maybe an FHA loan, put 3% down, move into the property and then get out, to try to, I guess, get into the house for a cheaper price and then try to rent out the other units? What's your thoughts on that? People just wanted to, someone just wanted to get into it. They might not have as much capital.
Yeah, that's interesting because house hacking doesn't really exist, right?
Okay.
So, and I'll tell you why, because you have to, when you're doing real estate investment, you have to, or when you're thinking about buying a house and living in the house or any property, you have to put on two hats. Okay. So the first hat is the investor hat. Okay? You put on the investor hat and you say, on paper, is this a good deal? Right. So let's say that you're house hacking and you're going to buy a duplex. All right. So you buy a duplex, you look at it just from an investor standpoint and you say, okay, if I bought this duplex and I'm paying this mortgage on it and I rented out the units, would this be a good investment? Right. Would I get a good return on my money? Okay. Regardless, that's the first decision you make because you should never buy something that's a good investment, regardless if you're going to live in it or not. Right. At least if you're doing it for investment purposes. The second thing you do is you put on now the hat of the renter. Okay. So now you say, is this a good deal from a renter perspective? Right. So that's different criteria. Is it the right area that you want to live? Is it too much space or too little space? Because you don't want to pay for too much space. Otherwise, that's not a good deal either. So when you look at it that way, right, what it really turns out to, again, I like to try to break things apart and simplify them, just like I did with the other part of saying that you don't want to be a general contract, like fixing and flipping is two separate transactions, right? It's the same thing here. You've got the investor. So you look at this, and if you buy, let's say, a duplex, and you're going to house hack this thing and live in one part of it, the thing about it is that you have to look at and say, all right, what would I pay in rent? So whatever that you could have rented out for, that's what you're paying in rent, essentially. And if that's a good deal for you, then that's a good deal as a renter. Okay. But there's no magic going on here. So the only magic that's possibly going on when you're doing something like this, that's house hacking, is that because it's owner occupied, you're possibly able to get a lower interest rate, right? Or I guess a FHA loan, maybe you couldn't
only put down 3% or so.
Right.
Yeah. Which is
so you're getting that benefit, and then you're also getting a renter who pays the rent on time every month and doesn't destroy your shit. So that's
which
all
is basically you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what you're getting out of it, but there's no real magic happening here, right? I think again, if those pieces happen to work out, a lot of times though, it's not going to work out. I've had plenty of situations I've had both situations. I've had situations where I've bought a house and I rented somewhere else. And I rented the house to someone else, because if you think about it, like, let's say that you live in a city where you would, if you rented a place, you would rent it for $900 a month. Let's say that's the rent for you. That
Or live.
All right.
all right.
Guys, back after that brief.
All right, we're
intermission.
back. Holy crap, dude! The feminists are coming. Like they literally were like, "Oh, there's too much game being dropped."
They nuked us.
Oh, you guys are getting your internet canceled, so we're
Yep.
back in, guys.
Back here.
We still got 241 live watching, man. Thank you guys for sticking with us, bro.
Real,
wow,
real,
for us to be able to retain that many of you means this was a great interview. Okay, so guys, just to give you a quick recap, we were talking about real estate investing, and house hacking, and John was explaining how house hacking isn't really necessarily the best option.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So I believe where I was at was I was saying that, you know, if you have this duplex and both sides rent for $1,400,
Yep.
you could have rented a place for $900, and you live in that duplex, you're actually costing yourself $500 a month
Gotcha.
because it's wasted resources, right? Because you could have rented it for $1,400,
Yeah.
right? Took that $1,400, paid your $900 rent, and then put $500 in your pocket.
Exactly.
So I'm not saying that you can't ever house hack. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people think house hacking is some magical thing that somehow by living in it that you're living for free. You're not living for free. It doesn't. You have to look at the numbers. You can't be like, oh well, I'm living on one side and then the tenants pay for the mortgage. True, that may be true.
Yeah.
But is it also true that if you moved out of to the side that you're living in, that you would have enough rent to pay for your own rent living somewhere else, plus put money in your pocket? If that's the case, then you shouldn't be house hacking. But there's certain cases where if you're going to do an FHA loan, and I've done it in both situations. One where I've bought a house and I've rented somewhere else because it made sense to rent, and I took the house that I bought and the rent that I was making from that, and I used that to pay for my rent, so I didn't have to and it put some money in my pocket. And I've also done it before where I've bought a fourplex, for example, and I lived in one of the units of the fourplex. So
yeah. No, awesome. So my thing is, so that's a great point that you brought up because, I guess, so would you say for people that don't have the capital, let's say I only have $20,000, right? And I don't have the capital to put 20% down. An FHA loan is a good way to at least get into the property, make it work for a year, save some money, get out, and then actually put a real down payment on a property that you're actually investing in versus this house hacking. Because I feel like people do that, I guess, because they don't have enough capital, maybe. So they have to use the FHA loan to kind of just get into the property.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. I mean,
That's
starting
viable,
out, remember, the big thing, if you want to build true wealth, right? This is what my coaching clients pay me big bucks to tell them, is basically this, is that
listen up, guys.
Yeah, okay, if you're young, what you want to do is to forget about cash flow. I know Grant Cardone. I love him. He's a friend of mine, but
cash flow on the day you buy it.
But cash flow
10x.
doesn't matter. Net worth matters. Okay. So, and here's why, because you can always convert net worth into cash flow. Okay. I can convert net worth into cash flow. So for instance, right, here's a magic number. If you want to know what number you need to retire and live nice, live like a king, $3 million. Okay.
Yes. That is the magic number.
Right.
10K a month, pretty much.
Exactly. $3 million will get you about $150K a year, right? That's what you can do with that by investing that and getting cash flow off of it. Now, why do I say that? Is because you can get a 5% return on that money, right? So if you get a 5% return, I think I've got the numbers right? The
5% rain, hail, or shine, regardless how bad the markets are. Okay,
right, yeah, just a 5% return.
Yeah,
then you're gonna get $150,000 a year. So my whole goal is for you to increase your net worth as much as possible, and then to switch over to cash flow, because we have this thing I call it the cash flow leverage knob, right? And so when you buy real estate, when you do any kind of real estate investment, you can turn the knob all the way to the left, which we'll say is leverage, or you can turn it to the right, which is cash flow. Okay, they're diametrically opposed to each other. Okay, when you turn it to the left, you turn it to leverage. What happens is that you don't get cash flow because you have a higher mortgage. You've put down less, right? So if you do an FHA loan, so for example, we'll have to. I usually don't do the math on a 3%, but let's say you put 3% down on a property, okay, and it increases by 10% in value. Okay, well, 3% is
100,000. We'll say, because my math is terrible. Let's say $3,000 of 100,000, right? You buy $100,000 property,
right?
3,000.
Yeah, exactly. So if that property goes up to $110,000, you have, what is your return on your $3,000? It's not 10%. Okay, your $3,000 just became $10,000, right? So you got a 300 and something % return on your initial investment. That's a pretty insane investment. So that's the power of leverage, right?
Yeah.
Now, normally when I'm talking about real estate investment, I'm talking about putting 20% down. That's kind of the standard number, and that's a 5x lever. Okay. What I mean by that is that if you put 20% down on a property and then it goes up 10%, right? You don't get a 10% return, because you get a 10% return on your 20% and you get a 10% return on the bank's 80%. So that's 5 times. So you take 10%, the return, and you multiply it by 5, and that's your return is 50%. I know that seems
outrageous. That's crazy,
right? But that's what it is,
yeah.
and that's why we want to use leverage early on. So leveraging with only 3% down, it's a lot of leverage. Okay, so the only danger in leverage is cash flow, is because if you turn that leverage knob too far, the cash flow starts to go negative. And so we call that an alligator a lot of times. And you can sustain some negative cash flow, but too much negative cash flow and you create a bunch of risk, right? Now, again, my investing style is to do 30-year fixed loans. So you're typically not going to have a tremendous amount of risk. If you did like a variable rate loan, then you could end up having that cash flow go really, really negative on you as the market turns on you and the property loses value. But if you're in it for the long haul, if you're in a property to hold it for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, then you don't even have to worry about a slightly negative cash flow when you buy a property. I'd rather have leverage. In fact, when I first started buying real estate, I bought with a lot of leverage. I would put 10% down on properties. And sometimes I would take a home equity line of credit out on the property and take my equity back and buy another property. So I was extremely leveraged, but I was in control of that. At one point, maybe my negative cash flow was $1,500 a month, which gave me a lot of leverage, but I had a really good paying job. I knew I could take care of that, and it ended up working out because it increased my net worth by a lot.
And can you define leverage for the people watching, like as far as like the from the real estate perspective, what it is exactly, so people like really understand what you mean when you're saying like I'm getting leverage by putting this much down, this much down, etc.
Yeah, leverage is just borrowed money. It's you're leveraging someone else's assets, right? And in fact, the key to making money, period, is leverage, right? So in business, right, for instance. Like take this business, right? So you guys are leveraging a few different things, right? You're leveraging other people's time, right? You're paying people in the business to do work for you, right? And so that is because if you just did everything yourself, you wouldn't make as much money in the business because you have to leverage other people's time. If it's just your time, you can only make so much money in your exact time.
24 hours a day only.
You're leveraging also the internet. Right, this live stream. It's instead of like if you did one-on-one, if you're talking to people one-on-one and they're like, I'll tip you $5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, you know, I mean, you couldn't you can make nearly as much money, but because you're leveraging this, you're recording this one time, but then it's being viewed multiple times by hundreds of people, thousands of people. That's leverage as well. So leverage is the key to making money. If you don't have leverage, you will only be able to make as much money as you can earn, as fast as you can dig a ditch.
Exactly.
Right. Real quick, guys, we got super chats here. We want to go ahead. And
man, they're coming in like fire.
So
okay,
all right. So
Chris, go ahead. You got him.
First, shout out to our mods. We got James Bradley in the house.
Yeah, we do got James Bradley in the
DeMarco.
house.
He's in the house.
James Bradley is in the house, guys. You want to say what's up real quick to the people, James? Say what's up, man.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, come on in.
James.
Say what's up, man.
James is here, man.
Yeah, James is here.
Guys, I love everybody out there. Thank you for participating. These guys are fantastic. Follow everything they say. These are the kings. Kings, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, James is out here Gucci'd out, bro.
Yeah,
Gucci.
Clean, man.
Shoes for
Gucci gang.
He brought us alcohol and the swag today.
Yeah, man. He's out here swagged up, so we love it, man. But
we got some chat from Ryan Acevedo on our Telegram.
Our boy Ryan.
Holy I realized just now I read all of John's books on software development. Got me promoted and making the easy 6 figs.
Hey,
nice, dude.
Bang, bang.
Alejandro,
like it.
$5. I want to be financially successful and invest, but I've been told to snowball effect and get debt free first. Student loans, etc. How should I tackle it?
We'll answer that. Okay, go ahead. You want
to answer it real quick?
Yeah, I got a good one for you because this is really important. Okay, guys, I'm going to teach you a really important lesson right now that Dave Ramsey is not going to like. Okay, I'll just tell you. But I'm going to tell you how to do things the most optimized way, not the way that an idiot would do them, right? So a lot of Dave Ramsey advice, I love his advice, but it's idiot proof. Like he treats people like they're idiots. Again, some people are idiots. They need to be treated like idiots. I'm assuming you guys are not idiots. So I'm going to tell you this really important principle, and it's going to answer that you're going to be able to answer this question for yourself, which is this. When you look at paying off debt versus investing, okay, paying off debt is the same thing as investing. And you are guaranteed a rate of return of whatever the interest rate of that debt is. Okay. So for example, let's say you have a student loan and it's a 6% interest rate. If you put $1,000 into that student loan to pay off that debt, you got 6% return on your money. Why? Because if you didn't put the $1,000 in and you put it somewhere else, you'd pay 6% on the $1,000. You see what I'm saying? So whatever you pay in debt is the same as investing. So let's say that you've got some student loans here. Okay. You've got some credit card debt. Okay. You've got an opportunity to invest in some real estate You could put your money in the S&P 500 index fund, whatever. You've got this array of things, and you're like, and you have a mortgage payment, okay? And you're like, what should I do with this $1,000? Should I put it in savings? Should I invest it in the S&P 500? Should I pay off my student debt? Right? All you got to do is say, what gives me the highest return for your $1,000? That's what you should always be doing when you have money, is say, what gives me the highest return? Well, if you have a credit card debt and that credit card interest rate is 19%, bingo, right? Okay. Now, let's say, here's the thing with student loans. Most of your student loans are in deferment, because that means you're not getting paid. You're not getting charged any interest on them. Okay. So it's 0. And then when they do start collecting payments, a lot of them are like 3%, 4%. They're heavily subsidized loans. So if you have a student loan that's 3%, let's say, okay, and you can invest in a dividend-paying stock that pays you 4%, you're arbitraging. It's an arbitrage of 1%. You're making money off of the government's money. It doesn't make sense to pay off that loan. Does that make sense? Now, if you have a lot better opportunity that's going to yield you an even higher return, then obviously it doesn't make sense to pay off the debt. So I'll give you an example too in my own life, right? So I have all of my investment real estate is all paid off. So I've got probably about $4 million worth of investment real estate. It's all paid off. I don't owe anything on that. But I have a house that's worth $1 million. Okay. And I owe about $500,000 on it. But my interest rate on that house is 3%.
Damn.
So I'm not going to pay that off. I have $500,000 in my bank account right now. I could pay it off right now, but I don't want a 3% return. I'm going to take that money and I'm going to invest it in some more real estate, and I'm going to get a much better than 3% return, or even where I have it sitting now, just collecting interest, because I'm basically putting it into either dividend yielding stocks. Like there's a bunch of places I could put it. Let's just simplify it and say I can easily beat a 3% return. So if I can easily beat a 3% return, I'm never going to pay off that debt. I want to extend that debt as long as possible, because it doesn't make sense to pay off debt when you can get a higher return somewhere else on it. I don't know if that made sense to all you guys, but that's the key to deciding all of these factors. It's just remember, when you have $1,000 in your hand, you decide where is the best place I can put that money based on what will give me the highest return.
Bam, right there.
Money Mondays.
Class is in session, gentlemen. Okay, so we got Travis with the $10 sticker. Thank you so much, Travis.
Travis
with another $5 sticker.
Thank you, Travis. Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you so much. And we got Roger Lasad.
Roger's here in the studio right now.
Roger's in the studio right now.
Okay.
What if you house hack with a VA loan? Would that be advisable? Oh, well, we did answer. Okay, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you can use a VA loan, zero money down, you should definitely do it. Just be careful, because you're probably going to be in a negative cash flow situation unless you get a really good deal. That's the one thing you have to be afraid of.
And is
that, you know what I mean? But
Roger's in the studio right now, which is hilarious. Thank you for the super chat, Roger. We appreciate it.
And Roger's my realtor, by the way.
Yeah.
Really cool guy, man.
Shout out to Roger, man.
Yeah.
Then we got Travis. They trying to make us beta and poor. Keep up the good work. We not leaving. Yeah, we're not fucking leaving.
There you go.
Wolf of Wall Street. You know what I'm saying? They're turning us off on the internet. We ain't going nowhere, baby.
Nowhere.
And don't worry, guys. We will get to the womanizing stuff later on. I know what you guys. Oh, we'll talk about girls. We will get there. Okay.
Actually, I got another question.
Mike.
Mike, here we go.
Mike. Okay. Mike Sinatra. John. I want to get into cyber. Okay, the questions are coming in crazy, guys. We're going to answer the questions at the end.
Yeah.
But Chris, make a note of this one as well. Mike Sinatra. John, I want to get into cybersecurity. What advice do you have on starting and when purchasing your soft skills book? Will I need just the one you dropped recently, or will I need the book, the other book also? I mean, I guess that's a quick one. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, you're asking a barber if you need a haircut. Yeah. You're looking shaggy, man. Get both of the books. All right.
Get both.
And buy some courses while you're at it.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
all jokes aside, get both books, bro, because you want to always have the full puzzle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, the books are cheap, so get the books for sure.
Travis, $10. Thank you guys for helping us kill the beta within and becoming the most alpha versions of ourselves. Bless up Myron, Fresh, and John. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
I appreciate it. We're going to get a Don DeMarco for that one.
3 in a row.
Because that was
4 in a row.
Yeah, it was 4 in a row. So thank you, Travis. You get a Don DeMarco for that, for the support. Fresh, go ahead to the next question. And then we're going to open up the phone lines too for you guys. Chris will do that in the back since the internet came in, so the feminists are trying to deplatform us.
This is going to be like a speed round.
Okay.
Just real quick. So can you explain the difference between wealthy and rich?
Ooh.
Yes. Okay. So the difference between wealthy and rich. Rich people have money that they had to work for that they spend, right? So if you make $1 million a year, you're rich. If you make passive income, you're wealthy. Wealth replenishes itself. It's eternal. Okay. It's so if you don't have passive income, you are not wealthy. Okay, because you had to work for that money. If you stop working, the money stops. Even if you own a business, business is not passive income because businesses die. It's just like having a pet or a baby. If you don't feed it, it dies.
Yep.
Okay. Not that I know that from personal experience, but but yeah. So passive income is wealth.
Bam.
Nice.
There you go.
Good
And that's excellent. Like, and guys, so remember that, think of it, wealth and well, getting water from the well. That's how you remember
like
it.
it.
So
That's
that will help you guys remember that.
All right.
Passive income as well.
Do a follow on right now.
Okay.
Cool.
We're,
And we have another question here, bro. So when it comes to dating, right? What's the best way for a guy to date in today's marketplace?
To date in today's market.
Find girls, try to like meet girls. What's the best
I
way?
feel like you've coached me for this one that I'm supposed to say. Is Instagram the right answer?
Hey, man, I won't be obliged to, but
we
yeah,
actually
possibly.
paid John a good amount of money for him to say that Instagram is the way so that we can pitch our course. DMs on Demand will be back out later on this January. Buy our course. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's good. That's a good way to leverage, right? I think that makes sense. We talked about that
Yeah.
earlier, like leveraging. It makes sense.
Just skill,
I would say to balance it out though, that you do have to have some cold approach because you need to have balls.
Mhm.
And like if you don't have balls, like hiding behind things is not you do things because they're more efficient and to leverage your time, not to avoid pain and discomfort. Right. And so you first go out and earn your stripes and then be like Fresh here and have Instagram chicks all over you. So.
Chris, do we got the phone lines open yet or no?
Yes, I'm doing it right now.
Okay. Yeah, because I know the British lady's gonna make the noise. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Okay. And then we got another. Actually, no. Continue on. We'll hit the super chats after you do your questions
All right,
first. Go ahead.
This last one here.
Yeah.
So, John, is dating in America dead?
Is it dead? Like, what do you mean dating? Like courting or
Is dating for purpose dead? Is dating worth it? You would say?
Oh,
In today's marketplace in the West.
Yeah.
as opposed to doing what are you gonna do if you don't date though?
Well, some people say let's go outside the U.S. and go to Colombia.
Oh
Some
no
people say-
no. Yeah. That's some pussy shit, right? you got to play the ball where it lands.
Yes.
Okay? You got to play the ball where it lands. So like if you're trying to avoid, don't do shit. Don't like do shit specifically because it's hard. Don't avoid shit because it's hard. You're doing the wrong fucking thing. You're going the wrong direction.
Yeah.
You need to charge the hills. Okay.
Yep.
So just because something's hard, that's the worst reason to not do something is because it's hard.
Yep.
Okay. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, but in order for you to determine if something makes sense or not, you have to be able to succeed at it first.
Yep.
You can't quit at something that you haven't succeeded at and then say, oh, I chose not to. No, you didn't choose not to. It chose you not to. You got unchosen.
Yep.
You know, that's a difference. So yeah. And plus, okay, the guys that go to a different country to date women thinking that, oh, American girls are this and that. The problem is that like those women, if you don't understand, feminine nature is universal. And if you don't understand feminine nature and how women act, those other, meek girls in third world countries are going to run you over. They're going to
Take advantage.
Really work. Yeah. Because they're used to masculine men in those countries. That's why they act so meek and submissive. And so, if you're a masculine man, you come into, it's gonna be great for you. But if you're not, if you can't deal with women in the United States, and then you go in there, they're gonna see a mark. They're gonna see a sucker. You're basically,
the fangs are delayed, guys, is really the difference. Like in the States, you see the fangs up front. You know what I'm saying? You see that beluga whale she's coming at you at the club, and you're like, oh God, I don't want to deal with her. She's out here, wearing a pink, pea hat, if you guys know what I'm saying. Like you see the fangs up front, but you go to Colombia, Philippines, whatever. Women are hypergamous everywhere, guys. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to know the secret is this. You got to be masculine at all times. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. So regardless of where you are.
And one other thing I'll say about that, I think that's really important for guys to hear, because they hear so much of the opposite in the red pill community here. And again, I love all the guys in the red pill community, but here's the thing. Stop hating women. Stop like thinking that they're so bad. Like you really got to take out of your mindset this idea that, oh, you know, we look at the hypergamous nature of women and the way that certain women behave and all of these things for informational purposes, like studying an animal at the zoo. Okay. No, I don't mean this in a negative light. I mean it in an extremely positive light, saying that, like, don't view this as something negative and hostile towards you and with malevolence, because if you have that mindset in your head, it's gonna come across.
Yeah.
Right. You should be like, if you're gonna be a womanizer, be a womanizer. like love being with women, love women. You see what I'm saying? Understand their name, just like, you know, what's his name? Well, I think Joe, the Tiger King, is probably a bad example, but but like, you know, if you're gonna hang around, you know, dangerous cats, dangerous animals, you're not like, well, these fucking cats, you know, like you appreciate the beauty of this majestic beast, but you also don't stick your arm in the cage, right? So that's all I'm saying. Is like, stop having these negative, overly negative viewpoints. Instead, appreciate, you know, the dangerous animal for what it is, and know to keep your distance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what you're supposed to be learning here in the red pill community. You're not supposed to be learning that it's so fucked up. Not fair. You know,
It's tough out here.
It's tough out here for a lot of people.
Yeah,
I mean, guys, at the end of the day, like, women are the same no matter where you go. The thing is that, like I said, the fangs are just going to come in a little bit later when you go to like a Colombia, a Philippines, a Brazil, whatever, because they're more traditionally feminine. But at the end of the day, guys, the reality is this: all women are hypergamous. Okay. It is what it is. Whether they want to delay it or put on a facade in the beginning is one thing, but it's going to come at some point. So if you stick your hand in the cage in Colombia versus the United States versus the Philippines, tiger's still going to bite you. You know what I'm saying?
And learn to love that. Learn to love that they're hypergamous, because you're the top dog.
Yeah.
So you're like, I love that they just keep on bubbling up to me.
Yeah.
See,
right?
Winner takes all with women, man. That's how it is.
You got to learn to love that. So become that guy.
See, guys, if you can understand this, right, and play it to your advantage, you can win. So, for example, same thing with a video game, right? At a certain level, the grunts literally are easy to kill. So I'm not saying to kill females, but I'm saying in general, like if you're at a high level, they come to you. So rather than complain, say, oh man, it's too hard. You know what? Work on yourself, become that high value guy, and then guess what? They're gonna be flocking to you like bees to honey.
Yeah.
So
all right. So let's get into the super chats, guys. Super chats are gonna be prioritized first. Phone calls will be after. We're getting a lot of. Okay, so let's hit the first one here. Empire of Real Estate. What is the best way to get into higher social circles and friend groups? You become who you hang with. Where can you find ambitious friends in real life? And then we'll also answer those super chats that were earlier on the show after this one. Yeah. John, go ahead. You take this one away.
Yes.
Social circle.
So I mean, there's a few things. I'm hesitant to just like take one take on it, but this is one I'll give you that I think is not heard very often, because a lot of people talk about different things. But I'll say pay for access.
Bam.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to pay for access. I do this all the time. I know a lot of people, right? We were just talking last night.
Yeah, we're talking
about
a
lot of people.
Yep. Yeah. John knows every big influencer, by the way, guys. Oh yeah, I know him. Oh yeah, I've met him before. Oh yeah, I know him. I was like, holy crap. So yeah, John knows everyone, guys.
A lot of it is because I've bought their courses,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've emailed them and I've said, hey, you know, I love your course, or whatever, you know what I mean? Or I've gone to a conference and spoke to them, or I've paid for their coaching. I've paid, I don't want to name too many names here, but I paid Ryan Holiday, I think $500 for like 15-minute phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, and then we became friends, and he published an article that I wrote in his online magazine, The Orbiter.
And real quick, hold on. John's too humble to admit this, but I'm gonna say it for him. A lot of these guys that he does this, he makes more money than them. He actually doesn't need their coaching at all, but it's for the access, guys. So the ability to be humble, to like, hey, reach out to these guys, even though you know realistically you don't need their coaching, but you pay into it, and you tell them, because when you pay guys, it shows that you're serious. And then you're also giving the content creator that respect, like, hey, I respect you. I'm going to pay you for your time. I'd like to get access to you. And then they're going to respect you way more and be more apt to work with you, regardless of whether you need their coaching or not. But the fact that John does that shows the humility. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So I just want to give you credit there, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, no, I've paid a lot of people in this industry. I've paid for coaching calls. And like I said, sometimes I've gotten on coaching calls with them and they're like, you don't really need my coaching.
Yeah.
Like you're doing better than I am. And I'm like, no, but in some ways, yes, but in some ways, no. Like I want you to be, I'm willing to pay to have you as a friend because it's valuable to, like that's, and a lot of times I'm frank with it. And people have said to me, that's pretty smart. Like that's a good idea. Yeah, sure. I will take the money. I'm glad to jump on a call and, and that's, that's how you do it sometimes. But the other thing that you can do is that you just give value, right? So I give you another example. When I was first starting out on YouTube, one of the big influencers that influenced me was Elliot Hulse. Okay. Now he doesn't.
Yo, Elliot.
Yeah, he didn't know me from a brick in the wall. You know what I mean? Like from a hole in the wall. Like I'm just some dude, right? But I bought some of his programs. I showed up at the conference that he went to. I tried to help out at the conference, right? I was helping all the other guys that were there, and he was noticing that. And and every time that I got a chance to mention him in a video or something, and I said, I owe my YouTube, the success that they could, like Elliot inspired me to combine philosophy with fitness and masculinity. And what ended up happening was, just as it evolved, I had him on my YouTube channel, right? And that relationship grew.
He's been on YouTube forever, dude.
Yeah,
he's like a fitness YouTube OG. Him, like Brandon Carter. Shout out to Brandon Carter.
Hodge twins.
You know what I'm saying? Hodge twins. Like all these guys are like OGs.
In fact, that's how I met Brandon
Jones.
Carter.
Yeah.
Was at Elliot Hulse's event.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was talking to a bunch of guys about books, right? Because I love to read books, and I was trying to just help all the guys there. And Brandon came over, and he was excited because he pulled out his Audible, and we're comparing Audibles.
Yeah.
And we're like, shit, yeah, we're reading all the same books. We're swapping books. So I'm giving him as much value as I can, like all these books that I really enjoyed. That and he started buying them and add them to his Audible. Yeah. And so that's actually how I met Brandon. But what ended up happening with Elliot was, eventually, I ended up speaking on the same stage as Elliot and I went to his grounding camp as well. And I helped out there. And so I'm just adding value, right? He's doing this grounding camp. I'm adding value by making his grounding camp better by helping all the other guys in there because I can mentor these guys, right? And so then, after I spoke at 21 convention and we spoke on stage together, when I got back from it, I had a photo, right? And I specifically tagged him. I had a photo with Elliot, and I put it on my Instagram, and I tagged him in it, and I said, I just wrote a big paragraph about good things about him. And you know what he did? He shared it on his Instagram. He reposted on his Instagram because guess what? That was a value add for him because it's one thing when you talk about yourself, but if I produce something for a content creator, right? And then he gets to repost what someone else says, I just gave him a testimonial. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So the whole idea, again, it's not that like everything that I do is calculated and strategic, but I'm just in the habit of giving value because I knew if I made that post on my Instagram that Elliot would appreciate that or probably be able to use it in some way. And he did. And that built that connection, right? And so I'm just thinking as much as I can is how can I just give people value? I think Fresh is a great example because he picked me up from the airport. I mean, both of you guys have shown huge hospitality. Like you guys get it because, when guests come here, you pay for their stuff, you pay for their dinner, you make them feel like they're a superstar, like they're special and they remember that, right? You know what I mean? And that's
very
the thing.
important. And you take care of your people.
Yeah. So that's the key. Is like stop thinking about what kind of value you can extract from people. Like because most people want to build a social circle so they can extract value. Yeah. Instead, think about like how much value can you give. And sometimes it's hard to give value to someone who's a lot higher up at a different level than you. But you can find a way, right? You could market their course. You can promote their thing. You can moderate their chat. These are like huge valuable things. You can.
Shoot, even James is here for moderating.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's
James
here and he's hanging out with us now.
Yeah, that's why I said that. Because James is a great example because everyone knows James because he shows up and he doesn't ask for anything. He just gives you praise and works and just and
he doesn't have
stuff.
to. He's a very successful pilot.
Exactly.
Made millions of dollars on the stock market. So trading. So it's a very he wants to do it. You know what I'm saying? Which is huge. You know.
So just figure out ways that you can give value, right?
Yeah.
And if you can't, then pay for access. That's the key. So.
There you go. Bam. That 101 on how to get high value friends. Okay, we had a couple questions before in the past, Chris. What were the one was on cryptocurrency and what was the other one?
Yes, let me check right now, but let's read some chats right now.
Big up John, Real Talk Sonmez, Fresh, Bossman CEO, and Unplugged Charisma Lifestyle. I appreciate it, dude.
There you go.
Hey, I try, man. I try. Robert Sananas, guys need to get their Pokemon badges up. Facts, bro. I always say it. Chicks ain't gonna respect you unless you got a certain amount of Pokemon badges. All right. A lot of you dudes trying to deal with like Mewtwo's, and you guys haven't even beat Misty yet. So, okay, John's Pomodoro technique changed the way I work every day. It made me so much more productive. Thank you, Chris Puckett, 99 Super Chat for that, for the support. What else do we got here?
Yeah, we have one with Dean 199. How to invest into crypto? What websites or apps?
Okay, so I have. I'll go real quick, and then I'll let John take the majority of it. But I got in last year, guys. I worked with Charlie from Cultivate Crypto. He's a phenomenal cryptocurrency advisor. If you guys, want to get someone that's not going to like rip you off or whatever, and is actually going to give you good sound advice, go with Charlie from Cultivate Crypto. I worked with him, and I was able to procure some Bitcoin and some ETH before it skyrocketed, and I'm in a good place now. I've like quadrupled my money pretty much. So I'm really happy. I'm not selling my BTC or my ETH. I'm holding on to it for dear life. But yeah, I mean, I got in. I just buy and hold. I don't trade. John, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, I read a really good book called The Bitcoin Standard, and it changed my whole viewpoint, because before then I was like, yeah, stay out of Bitcoin. Like, this is not a good plan. And I still don't think of it as an investment, but I also don't think of it as speculation either. I think of it as a store of value. And that book is what convinced me. It was like, because believe me, everyone and their mom told me, tried to convince me about Bitcoin. And I didn't until I read that book, because just to put it, a real simple version of it, there's a thing called the stock to flow ratio, right? So what it is it's how much you have stock, how much of a currency that you have versus what is the flow, what is the demand on that currency, how much transactions are occurring in that currency. And so gold has a stock to flow ratio, right? And so the stock is determined by how much can be mined in a year. It's a limited, finite resource. You can only mine so much. And so that is why gold is such a valuable commodity to hold on to, is because it is a store of value. So the goal of any monetary system that we have is to store value, okay? And the dollar is horrible at storing value, right? Because because the government's like, yeah, we'll just print some more of that, right? And every time someone prints more of it, what you're holding is less, right? So a dollar is not worth what a dollar was 50 years ago, okay?
Facts.
So the idea is to like have a good store of value. Now, Bitcoin, even though it's very volatile right now, it is the best instrument that we have that can be a store of value, because the stock is completely controlled. No government controls it. No one controls it. It just an algorithm controls it that determines, and there will only be 21 million Bitcoins in total creation. I forget the exact number, but but basically, like, it's a finite resource. We know exactly how much can be mined. And so we know what the flow is. And so looking at stock to flow ratio charts, I see Bitcoin going to $100,000 to $1 million. Seems crazy, but it's only because it's such a great store of value.
Yes.
And really the reason why Bitcoin is going to go up is because everything else is going to go down.
Yeah.
Because everything else is going to lose its value. Bitcoin isn't really going to go up. What's going to happen is that it's going to become the most efficient and secure store of value.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on it,
And I'll say this for those that are like wondering, hey, should I get in whatever? I say this to very general and very basic stuff. Get in and put in an amount that you're okay with losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would say anywhere between 2 to 5% of your total net worth. You can put it into BTC and or ETH, whatever crypto you want. And that way, if you lose it, it's not the end of the world. The problem is when guys, put like 50% of their net worth into it, and when it goes high and then low, guys like have a crazy emotional spike. So I would say put in an amount that if you lost it tomorrow, you wouldn't cry. You know what I'm saying? That's just to be safe and be a little bit more, I guess, conservative with it. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't borrow money to put into crypto.
Yeah,
as well.
please.
Don't do that.
That's
you know what I'm saying? So guys, 2 to 5% of your total net worth, and you'll be fine.
Yep.
That's an excellent question. Chris, what was the other one?
Yeah, so we have one from earlier, Shonen Spirit Beast.
Yes, Shonen Spirit Beast, yes.
So, okay, so John is one of the most underrated content creators, period.
Mm-hmm.
What are some principles that you recommend that men should follow?
Bam.
Awesome principles. Gosh, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a hierarchy of principles. We need to be men.
Would you say your
principles.
top 3 or top 4 or top 5? What do you think?
Okay, here's one. I gotta think about some of these. So I don't want anything that I haven't earned. Right? I only want what's mine, is another way of putting that. So this actually applies right to crypto, right? So I don't want to make, for example, we'll put it this way. I don't want to win the lottery. Okay. I wouldn't want to win $10 million in the lottery. And I'm saying this as a pure honest truth, because I would feel like shit. It would be one of the worst things that could happen to you, because you haven't earned it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's why they go broke so quickly after.
Yeah. And you become miserable because it's like you haven't earned it. Like you can't enjoy it. Like, I mean, I was just telling someone the other day, I was like in the live stream, I was like, look, imagine like you're popping bottles at the club. You got you won $10 million in the lottery, and everyone's like your friend, and they're like, you're such a cool guy. You're such a cool guy, John. You're so awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
And and inside you feel like shit.
Yep.
Because you don't deserve any of that. And so that's a horrible, empty feeling that you can't earn your way out of it. It's like living in the shadow. Like, I had one of my coaching clients was a trust fund baby, and it was the most horrible thing, because he just lived in his father's shadow. There's nothing he could do in life, because his father was ridiculously wealthy and he had all this money, and it was like there was nothing he could do in life to make himself feel worthy. So
there's something about like earning your own money that just gives you a certain air of energy. You know what I'm saying? I say all the time, like, you don't become high value, make money guys to get girls. You actually become high value to make money to like not tolerate the BS that comes with dealing with girls. You know what I'm saying? Like me, like if I'm dealing with a girl and she's like in any way disrespectful, I have no problem telling her like, get out. And the reason why is because I know I have this abundance mindset that I've worked to get here. I can continue. I've figured out how to get girls, and I can do it again. And I'm not going to sit here and tolerate disrespect from some 21-year-old bimbo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, everyone else might be a little bit different on that, but if it gives you that confidence and that bravado to be able to enact, boundaries, which is the most important thing, then, so be it. But yeah, I agree with you that like when you earn the money, it's completely different than like just getting it given to you. You understand the value of $1, which is critical.
Because when you're spoiled, bro, like I know how that feels. Like you feel like worthless, because like, mom and dad's money, I could do whatever I want, but like, what have I done?
Right.
And deep down, you know that. So you do drugs, you do like alcohol, try to like escape it. But if you leave that environment of your comfort zone and go to yourself, you can finally be who you really want to be. Yeah. So it's very important.
Yeah. No, facts. That was a great question. Oh yeah, go ahead. Was there more to it? Principles men should follow.
Let's see. What's another one? How about this one, which is that how you live one day is how you live every day. Now, I borrowed this from how you do one thing is how you do everything from
T. Harv Eker?
T. Harv Eker.
Very good author.
Millionaire
mindset.
But I adopted it to how you live one day is how you live every day. And I think that's an important principle, because you realize, because the thing is, like, if you're like, oh yeah, I'm not going to go to the gym today, like, or you're like, it's so-and-so's birthday, so I'm going to eat this cake, or whatever kind of bullshit excuse you come up with, that you're going to do that every day. So you can't just, there's no exception.
One bad decision almost always snowballs into a multitude of bad decisions. Yeah. So anything else, John, for that, as far as like principles?
What other major principles?
Respect.
I would say integrity too, guys. Like, I always say this, like, men are taught do what's right, women are taught do what's right for you. Like with a guy, man, the reason why like chicks flake on dudes and all this other crap is because women don't really have any real allegiance. Let's just keep it real, especially when it comes to mate selection, right? Like you talk to girls, like they flake on each other, they don't care. No one says it's a woman's word. No, it's a man's word for a reason, because as a man, what you say and sticking to your word is very important. It's actually like a testament to your character. There's a reason why Al Pacino said in the movie Scarface, which if you guys haven't watched it, you guys should definitely go check it out. I would say that when we're in Miami. But he says, hey, all I have in this world is my balls and my word. And that's so true, because if you don't adhere to what you say you're going to do, no one's going to take you serious. All right, I'm going to go to the gym. He never goes to the gym. Bro, you're like, no one's going to take you serious. But when you always do what you say you're going to do, man, people are inevitably just going to respect you, because they're like, yo, this dude is crazy. He says he's going to go work out 4 a.m. He's actually following through. Like, I give you an example. Those chicks, right? After the interview was done yesterday, guys, me and John, I was like, yo, I'm going to go to the gym. John was like, you know what? I'm going to go too. And the girls looked at us like, what? You guys are going to go work out right now? We're going to go to sleep. And it's like, yeah, well, that's why you guys look the way you do and we look the way we do, right? In the back of my mind, I was like saying that. But like people like really admire and respect discipline. And when you follow through and do what you say you're going to do, it's such a rare trait that it's just it's gonna set you apart from so many other people, because a lot of people be yapping, bro. Let's keep it real. They be, oh, I'm gonna do that, bro. You don't doing shit. A lot of people just talk and they don't walk it, But when you walk it like you talk it, it's very important. You know what I'm saying? So anything else?
I think that's good.
I think
that's good for you.
What was his name? Sonnen, right? What was his name?
Yes.
Yeah, I know he shows a lot of support to John, so we want to shout you out. I'll give you a Don DeMarco, bro, because you support John. Okay, we got some more super chats.
Yes,
The phone lines are on fire too, guys. Phone lines will get to you, but super chats take precedence. So
We
if
have
you want to
one
get your
from
question
our
answered,
earlier from Frank Nora.
okay.
Oh, bless you, brothers. I've been trying out a morning routine for over 6 months. Working excellent for me. What are your routines? Each 3 of yours.
Oh, okay. That's a good question. I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
Guys, I don't have a morning routine. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm on a nocturnal routine right now. So like I go to bed like late at night, like sometimes in the morning or afternoon. I'll wake up and then I'll go to the gym. I'll train either whether it's like, at Fresh's 24-hour gym, or I'll go to catch the gym here before the show. Today I was able to catch the gym before the show. Typically, like when I wake up, first thing I do is typically train. I fasted. Not that it matters, guys, but I just enjoy not having a lot of food in my stomach. I'll train, then I'll eat after. And then I just prepare for the show. Make sure all the equipment is good. Research on how to make the microphone sound better. The camera angles, the lights, everything like that. Like there's a lot that goes behind the scenes to make sure the studio is always optimal to give you guys the best experience. Because at the end of the day,
Facts.
I've said it and I'm gonna say it again.
Lighting sound.
We're fucking taking over. All right. This is going to be the best. We're already the best podcast in Miami. We're going to be the best podcast in the sphere. And then eventually you guys are going to see us out here going mainstream, making fun of feminists with 5,000 people watching live. That's the goal. We're going to get there though, thanks to your guys' support. So with that mindset, that's why I put crazy money into all our equipment, the microphones. Like I don't spare any expenses. We take everything, all these super chats you guys give us, all this money goes right back into the studio and you guys can see it. Stripper poles, weird heels, lighting, all that stuff. So we're trying to make sure that we got the best podcast. But that's pretty much my routine is gym. And then after that, make sure that the show is ready to go and we got the best stuff going. Everything is good. What about you, Fresh and John?
Yeah, man. So every morning I wake up at 6 a.m. I get on my phone and I look to add value to our brand, our channel for YouTube, but also as well other people. So my thing is about networking with high value people, influencers and celebrities, because one, I want to have them on the show. And 2, I think, how can I add value to this person's life and help them out? Yeah. So I've been able to network with like YouTubers, Instagram models, influencers.
We got some good stuff planned for you guys this month, by the way. Some good interviews that are coming up.
And then once that's done in the morning, I manage some social media accounts. I do that. And then from there, I pretty much like deal with the guests that come in, flying to us. And that's pretty much it.
Bam.
So,
what about you, John?
I also do not have a morning routine. I tried it. It didn't stick because I don't like morning routines, because what I found with the morning routine, because I had like this thing where I was like meditating and reading this book, and then and what happened was it felt like work. And so I didn't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
And so it was starting off my day wrong because I felt like I needed to do it and I felt guilty if I didn't do it. So I found it was just better for me to just get up and start working my day. And I have a routine in my day, and I have a routine in how I systemize my work with the Pomodoro technique in my whole workflow management system. But for me, it was like the morning routine just was like something that I had to do, that I felt anxious about, because I'm like, oh, I got all the stuff I need to do for work, and now I need to get this done. And so I was just pushing myself through it instead of doing it. Now, again, morning routines work for a lot of people. What's the popular book, Miracle Morning, Hal something, I can't remember his name now, but for me now.
Yeah. Okay. And this comes, and I talk about this all the time when it comes to lifestyle habit. Like when you're in the gym training, right? What I always tell people is it's better to do a suboptimal diet and or training plan if you're able to adhere to it long term. So let's say you're doing that's 100% optimal, but you only do it 2 times a week because you hate it. You can't sustain it. But you're doing something that's suboptimal that has you in the gym 3-4 times a week. You're eating correctly, or you're eating the best you can, 80%, healthy food, whatever. I tell you to stick with that and do that, because success comes from long-term consistency over time. Time plus consistency equals results every single time. That's the equation for success. So if that consistency is reliant upon you doing something that's suboptimal, I'd rather you do something suboptimal consistently over something that's super optimal that isn't consistent. Because at the end of the day, going to gym and having one great training session a month is like not going to get you gains. You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly why I support people that do CrossFit, even though CrossFit is the most retarded shit that you can possibly
Facts.
Because I support, like I have a lot of friends that do CrossFit. I'm like, good, I'm glad. Like do CrossFit. I love it. Like I'm never going to knock you for doing CrossFit. I'm going to say it's stupid, but I'm going to say do it anyway. Yeah. Because it has you in the gym training. Because like a lot of CrossFitters, as much as like I think it's goofy a lot of the shit that they do, it is they consistently do it because it has a cult, like
Yes.
thing to it, and it's like, and it keeps people going and
Yes.
doing it. So
The community itself,
it's good. It's got a lot of
creates
people
that-
fit.
yeah, that cult mentality promotes adherence, which adherence is the basis and foundation for any training or eating routine.
It's just not optimal. It's like you're not trying to gain muscle. You're not trying to. I don't know what you're trying to do, but but it works. It works. It's like it's just a non-optimal way to do it.
You're
but
basically
it's
you're doing
adherence.
scoliosis for time is what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
All right, but that's just my opinion. Now,
Okay, cool.
All right, so we have one more that's off from earlier.
Okay.
All right, so Empire of Real Estate, $5. How to get over fear of flying. I've had some success as a young guy, and I want to see the world. I saw your bio mention your fear of flying.
Just do it.
Now,
Yeah, seriously.
I
Turn
don't-
up the USB real quick, Chris.
Yeah,
Turn it up. Hold up.
What's up? You see it? You heard it?
Just do it.
I can give
Go
you
ahead.
an answer on this because I actually had a fear of flying. So
Oh, okay.
a
Yeah,
bad
so-
fear of flying after 9/11. Actually,
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't fly. I mean, I would dread flying for like 3 months before a trip, and then I would cancel it last minute, and I would drive. Right,
Mhm.
It would make me miserable just knowing that I had to get on an airplane. When I would finally get on an airplane, I'd be sweating the whole time and just like trying to distract myself, putting my headphones on, trying to play a video game, doing
Mhm.
all kinds of stuff. It just got worse and worse, and it was just the most miserable experience. And I looked up all the statistics and all the information, and I did just do it. I just got on the plane, but it didn't matter, right?
Mhm.
Until what ended up happening was there was a period in my life where I started to get these panic attacks,
Mhm.
right? And that almost destroyed my life, right? But nothing would make it go away. I mean, it was bad enough that like I would go into work and I would like just go into the bathroom and sit on the toilet and just try to pass the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that I could just get through the day so that I could get home to get into my bathtub and pass the time until I could go to sleep and sleep
Wow.
12 hours. And it was just bad because I just,
How'd you get over it then?
so what ended up happening, I tried everything, and then finally I was listening to, I don't even know what it was, this one audio recording on the internet that said, instead of trying to block out
Mhm.
the panic attack, instead of trying to distract yourself, like I was trying to read a book or do
Mhm.
something and try to block it out. So you're like, try to distract yourself with something else. Try to turn it up to an 11. Like try to turn that fear you're feeling up, just embrace that fear. Be like, give me as much of it as you can, right? Just like embrace that fear, just feel it 100%. And so I thought, well, I have nothing to lose. So I did it. So I was like, all right, give it to me, fucking give it to me, all of it. I want it. Right. And I just try to get myself as scared as possible. Didn't distract myself, just made myself feel it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have a heart attack. I can't breathe. I can't, and just like force it upon myself as much as possible. And and I very quickly hit a limit, very, very, very low, at a very much lower level than what I thought it would be.
Mhm.
And I couldn't bring any more fear. It was at the max.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's not that bad.
Mhm.
It's like that whole cliche, like you have nothing to fear but fear itself. That's exactly what happened. And I was cured like that.
Bam.
The next day, no panic attacks. I was completely back to normal after 2 weeks of debilitating panic attacks, right?
Mhm.
And so after that, I was like, shit, this would probably work for flying on airplanes.
Yeah.
So I went and I booked an airplane ticket. Okay. And I booked a window seat and I didn't bring my headphones.
Oh,
I didn't bring anything.
Face it head on.
And I sat in the window seat and I opened up the window
Mhm.
and I made myself watch the entire time when we were taking off, to watch the ground. And I didn't try to block out the fear. I was like, let me feel as much fear. I want to scare myself as fucking much as I can looking out of this window. And then when we, and then we took off, and obviously it was scary, but I just let myself feel as much fear as possible. Just like, don't try to block out any emotions I'm feeling. Just experience it all. I want to experience it all. And then when we got into turbulence, normally I would put on headphones and try to. I was like, no, I'm gonna,
I'm gonna accept this. Give it to me.
Oh,
yeah. I was jumping up in my seat. I was like, yes, yeah. Like I was scared, but I was like making myself feel it. And the same thing with landing, like made myself watch the entire landing. It took 2 flights and I was cured. I've flown probably like 150 times since then, all over the world, everywhere, all kinds of countries. I've flown,
Bam.
Have no fear of flying at all anymore. I did the same thing with roller coasters as well. So that if you do that, that will work.
So there's a secret, guys. You
Yep.
got to face your fears.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay.
All right, so
go
we
ahead,
have
Chris.
a few super chats. And
Okay.
we have
And a bunch of phone lines.
we have
Guys,
818.
phone
Yeah.
lines, we're going to try to get to you. Super chats come first.
Yeah.
Super chats come first. And then we'll go to phone lines. If you guys are
So-
waiting on the phone line, you want to get your question, make sure it's guaranteed answered, do a super chat. Okay.
So
go
we
ahead.
have one from earlier from Chris Puckett.
Okay.
99 super chat.
Okay.
John's Pomodoro technique changed the way I work every day and made me so much more
Yeah.
productive.
We read that one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Perfect. We have one from Travis 499. It went away. That's good to go. And then our current ones are Ahmed Hill, $5.
Okay. A lot of heat being dropped. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you
All
so
right.
much,
Thank you,
Ahmed.
man.
We appreciate it. Hill with the $5 super chat. We got Travis with another one. Thank you, Travis, bro. You're supporting, bro.
For real, for real.
Travis has a good question here. How do we obtain masculine energy? Step 1, don't hang out with beta males like Curtis Connor. Number 2, you need to make sure that you surround yourself with guys that are like on a similar mission to you, man. Don't hang out with losers. If you're hanging out with guys that smoke pot all day and complain and cry about their situation, whatever, you're going to start to be the next complainer and crier. So
And number 3, don't watch Philly on.
don't watch Philly on
Watch
either.
us.
Yeah, watch us.
Watch
Don't watch
us.
these guys that clearly like don't have a real perception of reality when it comes to dating. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then what else? Number 4, surround yourself with guys that you can learn from. Like
Yep.
John,
Yep.
we've been like picking his brain about certain things, but we're making sure that we can exchange some kind of value as well with like, Instagram, social media, that type of thing.
Yep.
And yeah, man, just hang out with guys that are winners, provide value to those winners. Don't hang out with losers because they're going to make you feel like a loser. If you hang out with 5 idiots, you're going to be the 6th. Trust me, every single time. But that's what it is. And another thing too, real talk, blue pill guys, you know what? If you work with them, whatever, keep it like sociable, whatever. But like, understand that guys that are blue pill, like especially dudes that like are, on this SJW wave, whatever, they're gonna try to sabotage you if you, speak about these types of belief systems, etc. Guys, so keep the RP to yourself, okay? A lot of you guys try to RP your friends and your cousins, whatever.
Yeah.
Trust me, when it's time, you'll know. They'll get their heart broken and they'll come to you asking for answers, and that's when you can hand them the rational mail, show them our YouTube channel, show them John's YouTube channel, etc. So yeah. Next question. Okay, Robertson S with a $6.99 Canadian super chat. How old were you guys when you started getting girls consistently and figured them out? For me, 28, because in my 20s, bro, I sacrificed a lot to like make sure I can like not be an idiot and make some money and save. What about you, Fresh? Fresh was always good
Honestly,
with the ladies.
man, like I'm 19, and it's funny because I was a virgin until 18, and this girl from Canada like changed that whole dynamic for me. And then I realized, yo, real quick, there's a bunch of tourists here, right, that like dating island boys. So what did I do? Logistics guys.
And by island boys, he means the BBC.
Yeah, I went to a spot in Barbados called the Gap, right? And in the Gap, tourists always come there to party. But what did they come for? Sand, the beach, and sex.
There we go.
So
I think you need another S.
I put myself right, in that position where they were going to be. I made the approaches. I had a constant stream of girls back and forth.
Yeah.
But once again, when the kids in Miami, no one knew who I was, and it didn't matter. But yeah, that's like the start of me getting girls.
And then John, I don't know if you want to.
But yeah, I mean,
John's actually a virgin, guys. In case you didn't realize.
John's
I hate to say it on the air, but
Yeah, he's a virgin. Okay.
right.
We got Mike No Go Zones, $5. Hello, guys, watching from Wynwood, and I'm happy because I just defeated COVID. Luckily, I was asymptomatic. This is because I'm healthy. Regards. Thank you so much,
Good
man.
recovery, bro.
Yeah,
Wynwood.
Yeah,
Yo, we were just there, right? Remember?
yeah.
Shout out to Wynwood, man.
Koyo
305
tacos,
in the
some
house.
tacos, man.
Thanks for passing on your asymptomatic COVID thing.
Yeah, Koyo Taco's trash. You guys heard it here first.
Koyo's best. By the
Yeah,
way.
he loves it. I hate it. I think it's trash, overrated. Okay, Randy Swag 499 super sticker. Thank you so much, Randy Swag. We got C Sujo Noke. You say don't travel to a different country because you should become better. But have any of you actually been to the Philippines, Colombia, etc.? So, okay, man, I already know where we're gonna go here. Okay, let's rewind that back. Like, yo, what we're telling you guys is this: we understand that in other foreign countries, that the women are more feminine, a little bit more. They respect male authority more because they're taught to do that. What we're telling you though is that if you don't have game, regardless of where you go, the only thing that's going to happen is that the fangs are going to come and bite you later on versus up front, like here, you know what I'm saying, in the States or westernized countries. Now, with that said, do I knock on guys that go to the Philippines or Colombia or whatever to get women? Nah, I don't. But I'm also going to tell you that, we're here in Miami doing this thing. I would say we're like one of the most credible. We do our, 2 ladies, 1 table podcast multiple times a week, and at the end of the day, are other dudes doing that? You know what I'm saying? And doing it in Miami? No. But am I going to knock guys that go to these countries? No, because, you know, Colombia has hot chicks, you know, Philippines has hot women. I've heard great things about all these countries. But what we're here to tell you is don't let it be a crux where you're going to run off to a foreign country because, like, oh, I can't get girls here. Screw this. I hate American women. Oh, and then you like complain and rant about it. And then you go fly off to these countries like it's going to fix your problem.
Yeah.
If you don't got game, you're going to lose anyway.
I mean, look, man, I love Colombia, man. I've been there. It's a fun time. I would just say don't make it a thing to go to just to escape America.
Yes.
Because guess what, right? Like Colombia, I'm going to say it, it's not a wealthy country. So you getting girls there, obviously they see you as a higher value guy off rip because you have money, you're American. But do they really love you? Probably not. I mean, some may, but let's just say like the feminine role is going to play to the masculine role. And if you're not masculine,
Right.
guess what? You're going to be taken advantage of, or even worse, get played to make a move to America, and then she's going to leave you for another guy. So I would just say be careful when you go there. Have fun, but don't rely on Colombia or like Brazil or Philippines as a way to get girls.
Because at the end of the day, guys, remember this.
She belongs to the streets.
Unless proven otherwise, no matter where you are. You know what I'm saying?
And the same principle applies in the United States as well. If you're extremely masculine and you're a dominant guy, you're going to bring out the femininity in any woman.
Yes.
So if you're struggling with women being too masculine towards you, not being very feminine, it's because you're not very masculine. Because the most ardent feminist, when she's in the presence of a real masculine man, she'll fucking melt and she will become feminine. You will bring out that femininity in her. That's just the truth. So if you're not seeing it, it's not, I mean, yeah, granted there are cultural differences and, you know, we can complain about those things, but the problem isn't her, it's you.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right.
Trippy Octane.
Okay, Trippy Octane scored a 33 on the Bulldog test. Damn, man. I'll fix it up, guys. Keep up the good work.
Damn, son.
You got that message from John's like, hey, you're a beta mill. Okay, we got SM Kurt. NSM Kurt. Okay, with the 5 Canadian. I'm 39, federal government worker in Canada, HR professional. I make 80K and I recently became 100% debt free. I have 10K of savings. Where do I start? John, take it away.
Where do you start? Well,
He's in Canada too, so
yeah. I think you probably need more money to put a down payment on real estate property. But where you start is two things, right? So first of all, get your money up, right? You could probably make more than 80K. Figure out a way to do that, right? I mean, I think that you're not anywhere near the ceiling of what you could be making. And then also start building a side business, right? There's no reason to not have a side business to start doing that, because realistically, if you really want to get to, you know, get the book if you haven't already, guys. MJ DeMarco's Millionaire Fastlane. Okay.
Yep. And Unscripted is also a phenomenal book.
Yeah.
A bit longer, but yeah.
And what you'll realize, like if you read that book, is that the only way you're actually going to get to your real financial independence goals is that you're going to need to build a business. You're going to need to be, you're going to need to be making at some point like $300,000-$400,000 a year. So you got to figure out a way that you're going to be able to do that, at least that amount, right? Hopefully even more than that. But you got to figure out a way to do that. So if you can't do that, then yeah, I mean, you can still invest and you can still, but just realize that your retirement timeline is going to be, you know, when you're like 40, 50, 60 years old. If you want to retire in your 30s, you're going to have to be making big money. You're going to be making $400,000 a year. So if you can't figure out a way to do that, then, you know, because you got to just do the math. The other thing I'll tell you real quick is your best friend, and every one of you guys should be playing with a compound interest calculator. Okay. I want you to just like play with it and play with the variables, because there's 3 variables in a compound interest calculator, right? There's time, there's interest rate, and there's initial capital. Okay. So play with those variables and see what happens. Oh, if I get this kind of return on my money, if I get a 20% return on my money, but I have $100,000, how many years will it take before I have $3 million? Okay. You should be able to figure out that answer and see what you think and see what it actually is. And then say, well, what if I just get a 5% return, but I start with $1 million or let's say $500,000, and then I give it, you know, 10 years, or, you know what I mean? So you can play those variables and you can see this way. You actually know what is realistic. Because most guys are like, oh, well, I just need to do what the financial advisors tell me, and I just need to save my money, put in 401k, and then eventually I'll magic retire. Boom. But you don't actually know the numbers, and you haven't actually charted it out. So you don't know like which path you're going on. So play with the variables and see where you got to get to where you want to get. So have your end goal in mind. I want to need to have this net worth so I can have this kind of cash flow. Okay. And then say, okay, well, what variable can figure it? There's multiple ways to get there, right? You can, you can get a very low interest rate and have 100 years to compound it and you'll make a lot of money, right? There's a lot of ways to get there, but you got to figure out which variables are you going to play with and get to, and then you have to realistically come with a plan that's going to get you there. Otherwise, it's just pipe dreams.
Bam.
So.
All right, we got another one here. Desmond Faulkner. Hey, how do you reinvent yourself after you have watched wasted time in life? I'm inspired by you guys, and I want to pick up the pieces. Any advice? Sorry, guys, my glasses, I can't see right now. I'm blind. Yeah. So I guess he wasted some time, and he wants to reinvent himself. Probably wasted his 20s away partying or doing some dumb stuff. What would you say?
Gosh, I mean, there's a few ways to approach this. I think if you keep on thinking of wasting your life or wasting your time, you're just not going to have the right mindset. You need to think about it in this sense, is that everything happens for a reason in life.
Yep.
In fact, I'm just going to read you something that I wrote on Instagram because I think it's pretty relevant to this, and I don't want to try and paraphrase the same thing here, but I think I just published this yesterday. This is what I said. Yeah. Okay. There's no such thing as a mistake. There's no such thing as failure. There's no need for guilt or shame. Everything that happened in your life had to happen. Every choice you made, you had to make. If you had the knowledge or discipline to make a different choice, you would have, but you didn't, so you didn't. That means that nothing is your fault, not because you're not responsible for your actions, but because there is no fault. There is no blame. Thoughts come into your head uninvited, just as they do to others. We have choices. We make those choices, but we always make those choices based on who we are in that moment. We didn't decide we would be what we would be in any given moment, but we do decide who we will become in the future. Don't focus on the past. Don't focus on mistakes. Don't focus on how many times you fucked up. It was all ordained. None of it could have been any different than it was. Take responsibility for your life, but not blame. Replace regret with action.
Bam.
You are on the exact road you're supposed to be on. See you at the end.
Bam.
Smooth.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Yeah, I'm not even going to keep going on that one. That was lit.
That's
Thank you,
good.
John. That was great advice. We got Knowledge Seeker with the Canadian $6.99. Myron and Fresh, how often do you get rejected when you guys go for cold approaches? How often do you guys cold approach? I cold approach all the time, man. I get rejected a lot. Like I would say, guys, like I get rejected. Let's say I cold approach like 10 chicks, I'll probably like maybe get 4 or 5 phone numbers, and then like maybe one materialize into anything.
Yeah.
Like guys, cold approach is a very, when you do the numbers, it's a very difficult way to get women. I'm not going to lie, especially if it's like you're doing night game or day game. It's not easy, and understand that you're going to get rejected way more than when you get accepted. So, you know, like yesterday, those I'll give you guys an example. Those 2 girls that we had here yesterday, we cold approached them on the street. You know what I'm saying? So, we ended up getting lucky with that one where they came right back with us, but it doesn't always work out that way. You know, cold approach is a numbers game.
I mean, for me, I don't cold approach that much because like I feel like Instagram is better use of my time. But when I do cold approach, I just ask for Instagram. I connect that way. It seems to work very well. So I just use Instagram as like my crutch, so to speak. So I would say it's a pretty good response offline and online for me.
One thing I'll say about that I think is important to note is that like realistic. I think a lot of guys ask this number because they don't get realistic numbers from guys like. And what I'll tell you about this is like if you are the Giga Super Chad and you bat at a 10% rate, like 1 in 10 of a score, let's say, that's
You're
phenomenal.
great. Yeah.
Okay. So
World class.
yeah. So if you're not the Giga Chad, okay, like your realistic rate starting out might be 1 in 300. Now, when I say this, guys are like, "Oh, that's not worth it." Doesn't?
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to stay at 1 in 300. Okay, but that might be what it is. And hey, if you're a door-to-door salesman, okay, and you're selling vacuum cleaners,
Yep.
and it's like 1 out of 50 people buy a vacuum cleaner, which is probably a realistic number for selling vacuum cleaners door to door.
Yep.
If you want to sell 10 vacuum cleaners, you got to knock on 500 doors.
Yep.
That's just how it is. That's
door-to-door sales, baby.
And if you start your vacuum clean salesman job, whatever it is, and you think, oh well, you know, people should buy my vacuum cleaner, and you go and you knock on 5 doors, and you're like, oh, they all rejected me.
Yep.
This shit doesn't work. I don't see how anyone can sell vacuums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like do 50. Even if you do 50, it still might not happen. And because the law of probability, you know, the odds say that it's not going to be perfectly 1 out of 50.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, there's a very good chance that it could be 100 before you even get 1, or 200. That's not without, that's well within the standard deviation for your math geeks. Okay. So just have a realistic expectation. Like if you're not a super good looking guy, then the best you might ever be able to get is with a lot of game is 1 out of 20, right?
Yep.
You might start at like 1 out of 200, right? And then you develop enough game to be able to, and that's also just a good definition for game. What is game? What is it to have game, right? Because guys are always like, oh, is it looks, money, status, blah, 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 blah. Game doesn't really exist, but game just, all that game is it's just increasing your odds.
Yeah.
That's all that it's doing. So so game is the difference between 1 out of 200 approaches and 1 out of 20.
Yep.
Right. So it's not just a numbers game, it's improving the numbers and it's improving the quality that you could get with those numbers. And so you just have to have realistic, because most of the guys that go into this black pill kind of doomer type of mindset, the reason why they do it is because they don't have a realistic expectation. Because everyone's, their perception is, oh, if I was just a Chad, then like every single girl I talk to
seriously
would give me her phone number and want to sleep with me. And it's just not true. You know, a girl can think that you're the best looking guy in the whole fucking world, the most gorgeous guys that she's ever seen. And she's out at a bar with her friend because it's her friend's birthday. And it doesn't matter if you have $10,000 in your pocket and you're the Giga Chad of Giga Chads.
Yep.
She's still not going home with you.
Yep. No, man, it's true, man. And like, guys, just because you're a Chad doesn't mean you're going to get the girls. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, what else do we got here?
All right, so we have a sticker from King Chris.
Oh, $10 King
Don
Chris.
DeMarco, but
Thank you.
There's a question in the chat though for him.
Okay,
Because he couldn't chat.
he couldn't chat it. Okay, what's the question?
So thanks for setting up this podcast with the boss, Bulldog John Sonmez. Tons of gems being dropped. Notes are being taken. Hashtag Freshfit fam.
Hey man, thank you, bro. Appreciate it. You get a Don DeMarco. All right, so we'll hit the phone
818.
lines. We'll hit who do you want to hit first, Chris? 818?
Yep.
Okay. 818, we'll get him on the line. Yeah, he's been waiting for a bit. Thank you for holding. 818, you're on the live on the show, man. What's up? 818 going once.
Yo, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yo, what up, man?
What's up, bro?
Is this Cam?
Hey, it's Cam from LA. How are you guys?
What's up,
What's
dude?
up, Cam?
Hey, John. Good to hear from you too, man. And thanks for coming on the show with Fresh Prince and Myron.
Yeah. Good to hear it from you, man.
So, good to hear from you guys. So I wanted to ask John a question about investing in real estate out of state. So as you know, John, I also live in California, and I want to know, you have properties, I believe, that are out of state. How did you overcome the hurdle of, because I have a few properties as well, but I'm kind of concerned about going out of state because I'm not able to visit the property, and just having it near me within my vicinity, I feel more comfortable about it. But what did you do to kind of overcome that obstacle of investing out of state? Because I know there's property value out in, let's say, the state of Indiana that's much more cheap, it's affordable, and you can get a good rate of return on it.
So, well, let me ask you this question. So if you were going to buy a stock, let's say an Apple stock, would you need to go and tour the Apple facilities and check them out? You know, check out, see how are you guys making those iPhones? Like, let me look over your shoulder. I don't know. I'm not sure about this. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I bought a lot of my properties sight unseen because it doesn't matter because the numbers are what matter, right?
Yep.
And so now I did my due diligence, right? So I hired a home inspector to go and take pictures. I had my real estate agent on the ground taking video and looking at the property, right? I double checked the numbers. I had the property management company check it out. I had a friend of mine, if there was in the area, hey, go just drive by that property. Make sure that it's not like, you know, in the ghetto or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, but you can do all that research. So, and then, you know, and I decided that I wanted to buy the property sight unseen because I wanted to not create a dependence on me going to have to see the, because what am I going to do? I walk around the property and like, this looks good. As if I know what the fuck I'm talking about when I'm looking at, you know what I mean? Like a home inspector knows, you know what I mean? Like kick the foundation. Yeah, that seems like a solid foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why do I need to see it? I don't need to see it.
Cool.
Got it. And when you're looking into outdoor, like the last question would be, when you're looking at properties out of state, are you looking at the appreciation rate of the state of that you're investing in, but also at the same time, you're looking at the cash flow of what it can offer you, right?
I'm really only looking at the cash flow of what it can offer me. Basically, in cash flow is the wrong word, right? It's really a capitalization rate is what I'm looking at, right? So that's the thing that I'm looking at. You basically have three metrics in real estate: is the capitalization rate, you have the cash on cash return, and you have the IRR, or irrespective rate of return. And so the capitalization rate is the best metric for the characteristic, the investment quality of a property, because that is essentially what you would get if you bought the property cash, and then after all expenses, what would be left over. That's your return on your investment. Okay, so that's kind of the best way to compare things. Now, when you look at things like cash and cash return, that takes more into account, like if you got a mortgage on the property, and then like based on how much cash you invested, what is your return, and then your irrespective rate of return looks at overall, like over a 5-year period. You enter the property with this much money, you exit with this much. What's your effective rate of return per year if it were compounded over that 5-year period? And so the reason why I'm saying all that is just to say that the appreciation shouldn't, I don't take into account, because that doesn't indicate whether it's a good investment or not. That's because that makes it more speculation, right? So I just want to look at, does it have a good capitalization rate? And here's the kind of the secret and the key to things is that you always buy properties at market value. What I mean by that is whatever the capitalization rate is in a particular geographic area, that's what you buy the property at. Even if you get a discount on it, you essentially have foregone your ability to flip that contract and earn money on that in order to buy it. You've at the capitalization rate that is going. So really what you need to look at is, in a geographic area, what is the average capitalization rate, because that determines both what you're going to buy the property at and what you can sell it at, even after it depreciates as well. So really just look at that is my opinion on it. But
Cam, you got to get off the air, bro. You get so much free value right now. That's a wrap, man. Thank you, John, for all that knowledge. Cam, we'll catch you.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
No, anytime, man. Guys, we're gonna have a Zoom call right after this. So it's gonna be a little bit shorter.
Yeah, short.
But we'll answer a few more super chats, and then we'll close Candace thing here in a second. All right. Let's go on to the next super chatter, Chris. We got Empire of Real Estate. He goes, follow up on social circles. Have you found exotic car ownership has gotten you into what is it? Ben friend groups. I think he means beneficial friend groups via car meets. Oh, this is a good question for Fresh. Go ahead, talk about this.
Yeah, man. So a lot of guys don't know this, right? But one of the best ways to meet millionaires, people with influence, people with money, is car shows. Because guess what? A lot of these rich people, what do they invest in? Cars and real estate. But for the most part, on weekends, they take their cars out, they go to car shows, and you know what? They're more open to hear, maybe you talk about your business, what do you do? And it's a good networking tool. So I recommend everybody, if you can, at some point in life, get an exotic car. Even if you have to like rent one, get it for that day, go to the car show and network. And guess what? My mentor, he does exotic car hacks. He teaches guys how to get cars for a lower price. I met him at a car show. It's like, guys, get this, right? You start off life at one point, right? You only know your immediate circle. To get outside that circle, you have to do things that you wouldn't normally do. But some of these people that you want to meet, they're not where you normally hang out. Where they're gonna be at? And one of them is car shows. So I recommend, if you can, get an exotic car, go to the car show, see it for yourself, and then go to those car shows and meet people. Hey man, I love your car, bro. This is a McLaren. This is a Lamborghini. Tell me a little bit about it. And you'd be surprised how much they love the cars. They talk to you. So yeah, man, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a pilot. Oh, I'm an investor. Oh, I do stocks. Oh, I'm hiring for this business. Do you know anyone that wants a job? Boom. I have a friend, right? He does IT security, and he does like cameras, setups, and networking setups. All of his clients came from car meets, and they're all wealthy as hell. And now he's a multimillionaire, and he was broke when he went to car show. So I'm just saying, like, you can meet people there that you wouldn't normally meet just by having an exotic car. And guess what? When you have your own, it's like a respect level that you wouldn't normally have if you didn't have one. So it's very important.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to the phone lines and transition back to any more super chats, Chris?
No, we're good.
All right, back to the phone lines. All right, 501.
Caller.
Hey there, this is Ryan from Denver. I had a real quick question regarding like logistics. So one of the things that I started noticing is I live in like a small town, not really a small town, but like a city outside of Denver. And I noticed I was paying a lot of money on like hotels and stuff like that. Would it be a better option just to move to like a bigger city and live there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ryan, in your situation, yeah, dude, you gotta, and we'll talk about this more in the Zoom call. I'm gonna give you a little bit more detail because we gotta get off the air here.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, I can get more detail there.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, you got to get the fuck out of where you're at, bro.
Yeah, move, bro.
If I'm gonna keep it honest with you, no cap. Like you got to get the hell out of where you're at.
And Ryan,
So
those girls that are flying in to see you, it'd be way better if you were in the city.
Facts.
Just keeping it 100.
And we'll talk about that in a behind the scenes. Which, guys, if you want to get the exclusive stuff that we can't talk about on YouTube and the real game and all the other stuff, get on our Patreon, patreon.com/freshfit. If you join right now, we're going to run a Zoom call right now. You guys can come in, get to ask John for Bulldog Mindset questions. Us, we'll probably run for about 30 to 40 minutes. You're going to get a value-loaded Zoom call. We do these things once a week on Mondays at the 97 tier and up. We had to increase the tiers, guys, because these feminists are trying to invade our Patreon. Thanks. So we got another super chat here.
Philion.
By Kevin Murphy. Philion. Murphy's Law. What can go wrong on a date with a beta male will go wrong.
Well
facts.
said.
1000% facts. Okay. Any other super chats, Chris?
No, we're good.
All right. We'll do one more call.
Yeah,
who's been waiting longer? 224 has been waiting longer. So 224, we'll get you on. 224.
Hey, how's it going, y'all? This is Jay from Chicago calling back.
Hey, what's up, man?
Jay?
Do a quick question, bro. What's up?
Hey, so yeah, real quick. So I saw those girls you guys had on the podcast the other night. One of the things I was thinking about is how it's really interesting how when you ask younger women, right, their opinions on guys with a lot of money, they kind of tend to shrug that off and they're like, hey, I'm gonna make my own money. I'm not worried about it. But you notice that tends to really change as you get up into like 30s and 40s and stuff like that. So just wanted to see what your guys' thoughts are on that, and if that's like actually something legitimate that you see, where it's like guys going in and trying to talk to girls in their 20s about their money always get turned down, but that tends to hit a lot harder when in the 30s and 40s and tends to get you a lot more,
man,
a lot more action.
Bro, you got to understand that women are 1000% capping 99% of the times when you ask them anything when it comes to how their partner account and or like what's your how much do you care about money? They're always going to say, oh, I don't care about money, but it's no, they do. The thing is that they don't overtly care about money. I'll give you an example. Girls don't necessarily care that you made $10,000, today on the stock market from trading stocks. What they do care is that you can come into the house and tell her, hey, pack your bags. We're going to Tulum tomorrow. That's what they like. They like the freedom that money provides. That's why, if you look at like consumerism and debt, like women hold three quarters of the debt. And the reason why is because they spend money first and ask questions later. And they don't really care about making money. They care about the freedom that money provides and the lifestyle that it allows them to provide. And they understand that it's a necessary evil to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? So women don't look at money the same way we do. We look at it like, oh, I made $10,000 the other day. Oh, cool. How'd you make that money? Whatever. A girl's like, oh, I made $1,000 today. Cool. I got my rent covered. I'm chilling now. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not built for success like we are. There's no burner performance on them to make a lot of money. Some women obviously have that, where they're going to school and they want to become doctors, whatever. But women don't have the same intrinsic need to make money like men do. We understand from the day we're born that what you provide to the world is where your value stems. Women, they kind of have to learn that burden of performance, whereas men just naturally have it.
Yeah, it's funny because John called her out on the show. He was like, yo, you're saying that now. When you get 30, that's going to change.
Facts.
That's funny.
Facts. But all right, we're going to move on to the next guy, caller, but that was an excellent question.
King Chris on the line right now.
Oh, let's get King Chris
Appreciate
on.
y'all. Thank you.
Peace, man. King Chris, and then we'll can this thing.
What's
Go ahead,
up,
Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
Welcome.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, bro. What's up, man?
Yeah. Well, what's going on, fellas? I just wanted to call in real quick and do a quick testimonial and get one quick question.
Sure.
So for anyone that's on the fence as far as joining the Patreon, I highly recommend it. There's tons of valuable information in there. Fresh and Myron, they go above and beyond, to provide lots of information for guys that, trying to be successful, on your purpose, you know what I'm saying? So you guys should definitely, the best thing you can do is invest in yourself. And shout out to John also.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And guys, we definitely paid him $1,000 to call in and give that testimonial.
Yeah, we did.
So I hope you guys definitely sign up to the Patreon because we're scamming out here. But go ahead, Chris. Ask your question, bro, real quick, and then so we can just send out the Zoom link. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. My question is, and it's for all three of you, but
we'll let John answer it because you got access to us.
I want to invest. Oh yeah,
we'll let John take care of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Go ahead. No. But ask your question.
For
but
sure.
but John will answer it.
It's about investing in real estate, like abroad, like back home, because both of my parents are immigrants as well, from Kenya and from Laos, and so I always thought about doing that as well. And John, have you done that or considered that? And like, what steps did you take? If you can give some quick points about that.
Yeah, so I haven't done it myself, but I will tell you, that I have considered it, and the biggest consideration that I found with foreign investments is securing a loan, right? Because that's a lot of places it's not quite as favorable, right? We can get loans for where you put 20% down in the United States, and it's a fairly standard process of conventional loans of underwriting and whatnot, whereas actually, so the person you want to talk to if you really want to do foreign real estate investment or look into this is Andrew from Nomad Capitalist, right? That guy, he knows everything about living abroad and investing abroad. So Nomad Capitalist, Andrew Henderson, I believe. I'm spacing his last name. I think that's right. But anyway.
Damn, John, you look great on camera, by the way. I just had to say that, man. Wonder, who set up that lighting in that camera? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Hey, bro, I want to say one quick thing. Shout out to C. Pogson in the background and Todd also, because they're holding it down too, making the podcast work and everything. What I'm saying? But that's all I'm going to say. Thank you guys very much. Have a good night.
Chris gave you guys a shout out. Yeah, man. Thank you, Chris. All right, guys. All right. So we're going to end the show there, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Get on the Patreon, patreon.com/Freshfit. We're going to run a Zoom call right now where you guys will be able to ask us questions along with John. It's going to be quick, though, because we got to go to Moxie's and womanize on the waitresses there. So we will catch you guys. We're going to catch you guys on the next one. Tune in on Wednesday. You know what? We'll probably make a response to like these people coming at us.
Curtis and
Curtis. The real talk. We're going to cook those old broads that made jokes on us, okay? So tune in on Wednesday, 6 p.m. right here. Same bat time, same bat place. Tom is shaking his head and so is Andrew because they're scared of us getting demonetized. But we don't give a fuck. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.